Welcome back to another episode of the ReelTok Podcast. We are here with episode 72. I am here alongside my two beautiful co-hosts, Cam Walsh and Tyler C. Whitmore. We got a decently packed episode for you guys today. Pretty standard intro.
Just feel like, sorry.
Just getting excited at 9:15 in the morning.
Yeah.
Pretty exciting stuff. We're going to go through Oscar nominations. Tyler and I are going to run through the zone of interest. We also had a busy week of trailers. So there's a lot of trailers. Not only are there a lot of trailers, there are a lot of trailers just genuinely worth talking about. A lot of trailers I had a really fun time with. Then we're going to talk Oscar nominations. I think I said that already. We're going to talk Oscar nominations, kind of go through what we think was snubbed and just kind of, break down each of the big categories. And then we're going to end it off with, we're going to go through kind of the last probably decade and a half of Best Picture winners. And we're going to discuss who won the Oscar for Best Picture versus who we think should have won, which is going to be pretty much another Real Talk segment of dudes just naming movies, which,
you know what I'll say on that? A lot of people give Wikipedia shit. Shout out Wikipedia.
They did good with those.
For having a movie list of who's won, and then also in that same list who was nominated. So shout out them. Makes it easy for me. A lot of people give you shit, Wikipedia. I'm not going to donate to you. Every time you log on, it's like, hey, you want to donate to keep Wikipedia alive? I'm not going to, but shout out you. Shout out you.
I had an old coworker who did donate. The only person I ever knew that genuinely donated to Wikipedia. Every time he would pop onto Wikipedia, he would just give him $1 or $2. And I've watched this in the office. I watched this happen, and I always thought it was the funniest
company
thing.
Card.
Yeah.
Shout out him keeping it alive.
Yeah, it's because of him that Wikipedia still runs.
Hell yeah.
Before we get into our episode, guys, again, as we've mentioned in just the last several times, we have sort of revamped our Patreon. We've made it a little more accessible, a little more maybe advantageous for you guys. So if you even if you were a previous patron, make sure you take a look at the revamped tiers so you know maybe what was removed and what was added for what you pay for. And if you're not a patron and you want to check out, kind of what we've done to the Patreon, take a look. Obviously, if you have any questions, all four of us are all around. I should mention Seth is not with us. He has been feeling under the weather the last couple of days, so he's going to take a break this week. But gentlemen, how are we? Cam, how's your morning going? How's your week?
Good. The big note with the Patreon is our normal Friday episodes are done. They're releasing on Patreon.
They've been terminated to make a pun.
I believe this is the first week they are moved to Patreon. $5 a month. It hopefully isn't breaking the bank. If you really want to see those, I got a cat on my lap now. But just that's like the big note. All right. Yeah. I've been good. It's been 2 weeks since we've seen each other because we recorded 2 episodes 2 weeks ago and I missed one because my pipes froze. So that's just an absolute that's just such an inconvenience not having water. And it's not something that like you can live in your house because our heat or power didn't go out so we could live there. But had to buy a bunch of jugs of water from the store, fill up toilet bowls like that. It's just so unnecessary. I
forget. Do you rent or own your house?
Yeah, we rent.
So did the landlord kind of schedule getting the pipes unfrozen and all that, or did you have to handle it?
No. So the landlord's my sister.
That changes things.
Yeah. I love my sister dearly, but there's a reason you don't rent from people that are in your family. And there's also a lot of advantages to it, but there's also just plenty of disadvantages. It's a give and take. You just got to be willing to give and take. Like I mentioned, we don't have doors in a lot of places. It's just kind of, but yeah. So we had to figure it out. We bought heaters and that ended up working. But we did go to my parents for a day. My parents were traveling, so we drove over to their house to do laundry. And they have a much nicer washer and dryer than ours, so it was fantastic. We have to do 6-7 loads this washer and dryer. And my parents, we could do like 2 loads, and they all dried on time. It was amazing. So that was great. But other than that, not a whole lot going on with me. Been up.
How cold was it in Indiana when your pipes froze?
It was negative. It was negative. I think the coldest it got was like -8, maybe.
Jesus
Christ. Yeah, it was tough. But now it's just, man, Indiana's the worst. Now it's just like 35-ish, but rainy for the past week. Truly terrible. But yeah, it's been a fine week. Been up early this morning. I watched some of the tennis match, George. I watched the end.
Hell yeah.
Until I fell back asleep on it for a little bit. But yeah, booked travel to see Tyler, going to see him next month. So I will most certainly like miss whatever episode that is. But maybe I can like record a little bit in his room, and you guys can just act like I'll just record 2 hours sitting in his room, and then you can like overlay that in, Tyler.
Well, you're just visiting me for like a day, and then it's like a bachelor party, right? Is like the main reason you're coming to Arizona.
Yeah. So I won't even see you for a day. I just honestly, Tyler's my man picking me up from the airport, which I wholeheartedly appreciate from the man.
Yeah, it's funny. Like I texted you this when you tweeted out saying like, oh, like Tyler's the best to let me crash, and then you like blurred out the date you were coming.
Yeah,
I texted him like, you didn't have to blur out the date because you texted me literally the wrong date by like 3 months.
Yeah,
I like texted you back. I'm like, to confirm, you mean this date, right? Not like 3 months in the future. You're like, yeah, I just messed that up.
No, I messed that up bad. I don't know what was on my mind, like why I was thinking. I think I sent like an April date or something. I was like. And also, it just wasn't I'm flying in on a Thursday. It wasn't that day. So, yeah, it was just all off. It's fine, though. Get to see Tyler. But, yeah, not a whole lot going on. Otherwise, rewatching Daredevil, George.
I know. I saw that. I need to rewatch it, especially before. Because when does the new season come out? Do we even have an official date?
I believe it's supposed to be early next year, but we will see about that with all the rewrites that it's gone through. And now it's just Daredevil season 4.
Yeah. Which good.
Yeah, right. Like how dumb do you have to be to spend the production budget on that thing is going to be like $100 million more than like what it says, because they had to like write the season already and then scrap it and rewrite and hire new people. Just like how dumb do you have to be just to say, let's just make Daredevil season 4. People like the show. Let's just do that.
Yeah, I don't know why they ever had plans otherwise. I don't know. My assumption is they were trying way too hard to like interweave it into the MCU.
Yeah. They probably had like Kang coming down or something. Like,
in reality, make a season 4 and just say, this takes place in the MCU, and everyone would have been like, okay, cool. Sure, exactly. Makes sense.
Also, the first season talks about the MCU a good amount. Like it talks about
I have to.
It mentions Captain America. It mentions Thor. It mentions like all the crazy stuff going on in New York, like things like that. It's just it talks about the MCU. So it was always one of those I was like kind of it's like the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. show where it was like kind of canon for a season, and then they're like, hey, now it's not.
It's weird they haven't showed up in movies, so now they're not a part of the
exactly. Just so much better than anything on Disney Plus, man. Just so much
obviously
better. But yeah,
that is not the bad comparison.
I mean, I'm just saying, like anything, like I'm just talking like MCU TV. It's like wildly better. All 3 seasons are obviously, but
I think Loki is like
I like Loki a lot.
Yeah, it's not Daredevil at its peak level, but I think it has like we need to put the respect on Loki at least.
Loki deserves respect. The rest, not so.
So does What If.
No.
Different story.
I don't like What If.
Tyler, how's your week going?
Yeah, it's been good. Been a busy week. Gotten a lot of Trivia 10 episodes filmed, so subscribe to my YouTube channel if you haven't already. But I am loaded on episodes at this point because George, I know we're planning on filming ours today, and that will wrap up season 1. So like the next like month and a half, I'm gonna have like YouTube videos scheduled and ready. So got a lot of work done for that, so that I can kind of take a break from YouTube for a bit, and so we'll kind of just go through the motions of getting uploaded and all that kind of good stuff. But been a lot of fun. Work's been busy. The reason we didn't record last weekend, although we did upload an episode because we did two episodes the weekend before, was I went to Flagstaff, Arizona. Did a couple things. So we stayed in Flagstaff, Arizona, which is like northern-ish Arizona. And then we drove about an hour and a half, 2 hours to the east to go to the Grand Canyon. First time seeing that. Pretty fun time. Like, it's something that I feel like everyone should see once, especially like in America. But like, it's kind of just one of those things at the end of the day that you look at, you're like, yeah, that's awesome. But didn't really change my life or anything, but it was still fun to see. Pretty crazy. Just big hole indeed.
Massive.
Big hole, but it was neat to see. And then we went to two different, like, calling them a zoo is kind of the wrong thing. It's like Arizona's kind of a bit like the wild, wild west. I like to call it like the Australia of America. We went to one zoo on the way up there that's called Out of Africa. That's basically this private owned land that just has like lions and stuff like that. And they had cool shows. Like they had like this swimming with the lion. We got to watch them feed the lions, where they just like yeeted full like dead horses over like a fence and just watch the lions absolutely devour them. But it was a fun time. It was just like a very immersive zoo experience. It wasn't like you're looking at things in like cages. It's kind of just like they're roaming around, and it's almost like a little safari within Africa. And we went on this, you get to go on this little bus ride through some of the segments, and like we got like zebras would just come right up to the bus, which had like windows wide open, and we all fed giraffes that would come up to the bus. There's like big longhorns. It was just kind of a cool experience. That was a fun time. And my tour guide was the guy driving the bus, was like this dude who's been a stuntman in like a shit ton of action movies. And he was talking about it the whole time. Then I like looked him up on IMDb. I'm like, this dude's film bag is deep. Can't remember all this stuff, but like a lot of crazy stuff, like all the Bourne movies. Like he was just like a stuntman, a ton of stuff from like 1990 all the way to like 5 years ago. And now he just kind of just chills in a safari for his free time, which is just like, and he has a pet wolf. So it's just like such a typical like stuntman move. Like he literally has a wolf that's like he domesticated and just like lives in the house with him. Like I'm like, this dude's wild. But then after we went to the Grand Canyon, we went to a different place called Bearizona, which is similar. It's like a drive through, like you just like kind of drive through a nature preserve where there's just like bears everywhere, just chilling, just right up against your car. That was pretty fun too. Fed some otters. They're always a fun time. Look like Lila from Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And then what else did we do? Yeah, we went up on Flagstaff Mountain where all the snowboarding skiing is. Yeah, and then just popped by Sedona on the way back, which is where we got engaged last year. So it's all in all a fun road trip throughout northern Arizona. Saw some stuff that we're trying to leave at the end of this year to move back to Texas. And it's kind of like, if you live in Arizona or like you live in the state where the Grand Canyon is and you don't see the Grand Canyon, it's one of those things like years down the road, would be like, why the hell didn't we do that then? Why are we going to fly there just to see it? Like we literally live there. So we knocked out some bucket list stuff. So that was fun. But then had to take a day off work. So then this week of work's been super busy. And then like in a week, not next week, but the week after, I'm going out to Augusta, South Carolina for work for a week. So got to do a lot of pre-work for that. So been busy with work, been busy with YouTube, but all in all, it's been good. And it's been a while since we talked. So I'm excited to kind of chat movies again with you.
Yeah. Every time we miss a weekend, it feels like we've missed like a month of talking to each other. I swear to God.
Yep.
My week was good. Before we started recording, I was kind of telling Tyler that I'm like back into work, like fully back in. Obviously, I missed a lot of work over the last couple of months, but I'm back in it. So I've been just one, busy just catching up, but two, also just busy with like everything I need to accomplish moving forward. Just because, a big part of my job, and I'm sure it's a big part of your jobs as well. We have just a lot of like goals that I need to hit in Q1, Q2, Q3, and Q4. So a lot of catching up, but also a lot of just like moving forward and like preparing for the year as a whole. So just busy as fuck. Worked from home all week just because I wasn't feeling too hot for a lot of the time. And even if I like don't like get diagnosed with anything, or even if I don't have a fever, they say if I don't feel well, just stay home. Like don't risk anything, or else then they'll like keep me in the hospital for a couple of days, which I don't need. So worked from home, which allowed me to check off a lot of movies. And then tennis the last 2 weeks. The Australian Open was going on. So my entire life was pretty much consumed by just work and tennis, which not entirely complaining about. I fuck with tennis. I watch a lot of tennis. But that's about it. Before we move on to what have we been watching, Cam and Tyler, I need your NFC and AFC predictions for today.
I just texted my friends that I get bad vibes from a 3 p.m. Eastern start from the Chiefs-Ravens games, to where it just screams the Chiefs.
Why?
Everything, I don't know. I don't know. There's no real reason. It's just like not a primetime game. I don't know. Primetime, you bring it all in primetime, I feel like, and you're gonna bring it all in the NFC or AFC Championship. But I don't know. Primetime, not being on primetime is just bad vibes. So I think the Chiefs are gonna win, and then I think the 49ers are gonna win.
Yeah, shout out Sammy J Reacts. I just filmed the trivia time with him yesterday, but his episode's gonna be uploaded like 2 weeks after the Super Bowl. But obviously, he's a huge 49ers fan, so I was like, he's like very excited for the game. So I'm like, all right, well, comment down below making fun of him or congratulating him because this episode's going up like after the Super Bowl's done for like several weeks. But yeah, I'm predicting the 49ers. I feel like that's the more basic take. I feel like the Ravens Chiefs is more the game people can go either way. I want to pick the Ravens so bad; they are the favorite, but I don't know. The Chiefs they just have that sauce. They have that playoff sauce. They look so mediocre most of the year, but in the playoffs, they've been pretty locked in so far, especially against the Dolphins, against the Bills. They handle business. I think it'd be Chiefs Niners. In
my perfect world, it's Ravens Lions, and then Lions win the Super Bowl. But I'm 99% sure the Niners will win. Like that just kind of is unfortunately a lock, but who knows?
Unless I'm forgetting something, it seems like each week, like the less good quarterbacks have been slowly getting knocked off. So I feel like now it's like Jared Goff's time to be like the one getting knocked off. But I mean, Brock Purdy doesn't really count because it's like his whole team's so goated. But who knows? This all happened yesterday for people listening. George, who's your prediction?
I mean, I don't follow football as closely as you do, but I'm going to predict the Chiefs just because I'm a big Patty Mahomes fan.
Sure.
And then we'll go with the Niners. The only reason I'm picking the Niners is because I was watching First Take one morning. I think it was Monday or Tuesday.
Sure.
Yeah. When I was working from home, I was watching First Take, and they were just smacking up on Brock Purdy for like no reason.
Man, it's just like clicks.
But so now I hope he comes out and just silences the haters because everyone on that show was hating on Brock Purdy like crazy.
I mean, he might be a system quarterback, but so is Tom Brady. So it's fine. I will say also, I'm sure you've seen it, Tyler, but my favorite, all week I've seen you either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become a villain TikToks of Patrick Mahomes and of like the 2018, it may have been 2018 playoffs where they were playing the Patriots and the whole map was red. Like everyone in the US was cheering on the Chiefs except the like New England area. And then it's like live long enough to see yourself become a villain. And now the map is only in Kansas City is red. And then the whole America is Baltimore. And those are my favorite TikToks all week. I can't wait for them. Or it's like the Vader and Obi-Wan meme. I don't know if you've seen that, George, but it is pretty funny. Those are my favorite. I'll send that to you.
Why does everyone hate the Chiefs? Is it?
It's just a dynasty thing. Like, do you really want the Chiefs to win a third Super Bowl in 5 years? Like,
Plus the Taylor Swift has added.
Yeah, I was gonna say how much of it is Taylor Swift.
Yeah, those people are just fools. But
all right, well, we haven't chatted in 2 weeks, so what have we been watching in that time, Tyler?
Yeah, since it's been 2 weeks, I'll just pop through my watch list of things that like I'd prefer to talk about rather than go through everything. But watched Ex Machina for the first time. Yeah. Awesome movie. Had a great time with it. Very excited to then now dive into Annihilation here soon and get ready for Civil War and have all of Alex Garland's stuff ticked off. But Ex Machina is great. Loved it. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of fitting with like Terminator, which we are going to be reviewing, or Terminator 2 on Friday. You know, a lot of similar themes, but it was just awesome. And 2015, it's been almost 10 years now, but the visual effects are great in it. Rewatched The Nice Guys, fun time. Cam, I know that's like a 5-star staple for you, but
it is. It's
not quite there for me. Not quite there for me.
You're silly.
I'm thinking of ending things I liked a lot more than I expected to. It's such a divisive movie where some people like absolutely love it, some people absolutely hate it. But I had a great time with it. I mean, it was not at all actually what I was expecting it to be from the trailer, but I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think Jesse Buckley and Jesse Plemons together on screen are such a great combo. And then freaking Toni Collette. Anytime she's a mother in a movie that's kind of like mysterious, you know, it's just gonna be a fucked movie. Like anytime you see her, like immediately when they went to the house and she was a mom, like, okay, yep, I know what we're in for now.
I think that's the only overlap of like my best of the decade list that I have with Doug.
Oh wow.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the Charlie Kaufman connecting you two.
Yeah.
Watch the first Roadhouse, since we're going to talk about the Roadhouse trailer. It's just such a silly, stupid movie, but so much, like, I had so much fun with it. Like, there's so many moments of it. It's so dumb, and the whole premise is so dumb, but I had so much fun with it. And looking at the trailer for the new one, which we'll talk about, it looks like it'll be similar. So I'm excited for the new one. Watched The Gambler, had a great time with that. Very influential movie in terms of all the gambling movies you see nowadays. Is from 1974. It's with James Caan as the lead role. Think Uncut Gems, 21, a lot of modern like gambling movies clearly kind of draw influences from this, where, you know, kind of guys betting big, always digging himself in a deeper hole. And then even when you win, you know, you're kind of like, well, I'm not even feeling like great about this. Like, I'm an addicted gambler. Like, even when I'm winning and like out of this hole, I just want to dive further back into it. Rushmore, had a great time with that. Wes Anderson's second film, I think, because Bottle Rocket, I think, was his first. So I'm getting the timeline right, but I love Jason Schwartzman, man. Like, Wes Anderson's now in 3 decades worth of brilliant directing, and I think Jason Schwartzman's now into 3 decades of awesome acting. Like, at every age, he's been so fun to follow. Watch the whole Twin Peaks first season. Not that long of a season. It's only 8 episodes. The first episode, though, is like a feature-length, movie length. So diving fully into the Twin Peaks world. I know Seth's watching through them as well. Had a great time with season 1. A lot that I probably missed and it's convoluted because that's just kind of David Lynch at the end of the day. But gonna start diving into season 2, which is far longer. I think it's like 20 plus episodes. Which, Cam, I saw you make a TikTok about this, saying that we need to get back to, you know, TV shows being longer seasons as opposed to just, you know, 6 episode seasons. So excited to dive deeper into that.
20 episodes these days. It's
nothing
sad.
is, man.
Sad.
Nothing is. And then lastly, watched the High School Musical trilogy, rewatched that, and I was shocked how well they held up. I hadn't watched them since I was, you know, a kid, like middle school age, and I watched them a ton back then. I remember one of my first earliest movie memories ever is watching the first High School Musical when it released on Disney Channel for the first time. Like, when it premiered, I was amped for it. High School Musical 2, obviously the bet on it scene was iconic of my childhood. And then High School Musical 3 was one of my first like theater going experiences. I remember going with like my dad, probably the rest of my family, but I remember seeing that in theaters, witnessing peak cinema. Great trilogy. George and I, when we were waiting for Cam to join the call, we were talking before this episode saying, like, it's crazy because he just rewatched the first one, I think, only as well. But it's crazy how you can go like years without watching these, and you watch it once, and like every single song, like I knew every single lyric. Like, it immediately all popped back in my head. It was just like riding a bike, and we're back in the High School Musical world. Wildcats, get your head in the game. But yeah, it's also funny because I wonder why they did this, because his like desired college for basketball is University of Arizona, which are the Wildcats, but they're like the Red Hawks in the movie, like the U of A Red Hawks. So I wonder if, one, it was just copyright and you can't use it, or 2, the fact that they made their high school Wildcats, they're like, well, if we have another Wildcats as his college, it's going to get too confusing to say, like, I want to be a Wildcat, but I am a Wildcat, which it would have gone with the whole theme, because like once a Wildcat, always a Wildcat. Like, he would literally be a Wildcat at University of Arizona. I feel like it would have worked very well if they would have kept it, but no, they're the Red Hawks. Of course, spoiler alert, he ends up going to the University of California, Berkeley.
Shit. Bad college.
Yeah, it's funny because there's like just simply a way better college in Arizona, but basketball wise, obviously Arizona would have been the better choice.
That's fair.
But Berkeley's like probably, I think it might be the best public university in America in terms of non-private. But then I watched Terminator 2 twice yesterday because I watched the entire thing until there's 15 minutes left, and then went to my room and then started watching it. And then Riley's like, oh, I want to watch this with you. So I'm like, all right, let's run it back from the beginning. Let's go through it again. And then, just went to bed after that. Watched Terminator 2 twice, and then call it a day. So that's everything I've been watching.
Hell yeah. Me.
Can't. Yeah.
All right. Me. Daredevil. Dude, I've been trying to keep up. I was doing really well. Like earlier this year, I was keeping up. I was leading the pack for a little on like most movies watched. So it looks like I'm at 35 this year. I think George is I just looked at 52. Tyler at 43 or 45, and then Seth at 43 or 42.
Yeah, keep up, guys.
So yeah, I'm in last now, but there was a while where I was keeping up, but now I'm being consumed by Daredevil. And
if so Letterboxd adds TV shows, you can log every single episode, and then you catch it right back up.
That's why it should be added.
I'm also cheating. So while I've been working from home, I've been just tossing on like these hour and 20-minute shitty horror movies.
No, for sure. And hey, you have full. You can do that. That's good stuff. But I really wanted to keep up. And already slipping, and now I'm getting the itch to go back to Star Wars and restart just continue my Star Wars rewatch. You are muted if you're talking, Tyler.
You're So you can get to continue your Star Wars rewatch, or you're going to restart again?
No,
okay.
I'll continue.
That's more. I was about to say you're crazy, bro. I thought you just started the whole.
I was like halfway. I was like halfway through Rebels, and now I'm like sitting here thinking, like, damn, maybe I should finish Rebels. So what it is the Bad Batch trailer was a couple, maybe earlier this week or maybe last week, and I'm like, maybe I should.
I need to catch up on that. I'm so behind on the Bad Batch.
The Bad Batch is like one of those where it's like, this first season was fine, and then the second season is like very, very good in my opinion.
Yeah, I see. I think I made it like 4 or 5 episodes into season 2. I don't know why I ever stopped.
Mm-hmm.
I think something else had come out, but I had stopped for some reason.
That's fair. Yeah, I really like season 2 is really great. Haven't watched any more 2024 releases, just because I gave up on just watching all the shitty ones that come out. But I do want to watch this new SpongeBob movie. I watched Mamma Mia, Here We Go Again, because it's just peak. I watched Now You See Me 2 again, because why not? Inside Out just crushes my soul every time. Horton Hears a Who we watched. The Greatest Showman. Just one of the best soundtracks ever for not a very good movie, in my humble opinion. And P.T. Barnum's a real piece of shit. Not showing that. Both Old Boys. First is a masterpiece. The American remake is a Master Deuce. And then I watched Birdman. I wanted to like it more. I really, really like one-shot movies. I wanted to like it more. I still enjoyed it, but not as much as I'd hoped. Watched Breaking Dawn Part 1 with Emma. She likes to call that the best Twilight movie. I disagree personally, but it is like fantastic just watching Kristen Stewart and Robert Pattinson on screen, and you're like, man, they're really good actors now. I don't know what was going on here, but they're like really, really great actors now.
Hey, everyone's got to get their start somewhere.
That's fair. No, that's fine. Like, good for them for getting their start. And then
Victoria was not pleased with your 1-star rating of Breaking Dawn Part 1.
I'm very lucky Emma doesn't check Letterboxd. She wouldn't be either. But yeah, that's kind of where I was at. Had a little spurt there where I was watching some good MCU movies because like I just needed to feel something again. So I watched Iron Man, Guardians 3. Yeah, now rewatching Daredevil. So that's kind of where I'm at.
Nice.
Yeah.
I've been all over the place. Like I said, I've been watching some garbage. Went on a little weird Eli Roth kick. I watched his movie Cabin Fever and then Knock Knock.
Knock Knock sucks, man.
Dude, it's like so horrible. Ass.
I'm a little bummed you just now watched it. I know. You just to like peel your eyes out instead.
The only reason I don't know, anyone that gives this above a half star, I think is just horny when they watch it. Like,
I agree.
It's the only reason this gets above a half star. But one of the worst experiences I've ever had with a movie. Mm-hmm. Believe it or not the only half star I've given in the last 2 weeks. I also watched Snowman.
With Fassbender.
Yeah, with Fassbender.
That's really bad.
Just painful to get through. It took me like I think it took me 3 sittings to get through that movie. Because I just like physically could not watch the entire thing all at once. The Beekeeper I watched, didn't like it. I know there's been a lot of like 3.5 and 4 stars out there, but just not a me thing. Some Disney Channel original movies, Stuck in the Suburbs, and like Tyler mentioned, I did watch High School Musical as well. The memories just come screaming back. It's crazy. Like like High School Musical was on last night, and I felt like I was fucking 9 years old back in my childhood bedroom, sitting there with my sister watching the sing-along version where the lyrics are at the bottom of the fucking screen. So I might have
to go watch Stuck in the Suburbs. That kind of like
funny movie.
You just mentioning that was like a blast from the past.
I'm not remembering. Is that a Disney Channel original movie also?
Yeah, Disney Channel original movie.
No, what's his name? Taron Killam, Daniel Panabaker, and then Cecily Strong.
Yeah.
Or Brenda Song. Cecily Strong is the SNL gal.
I'm trying to think of. Isn't there one Disney Channel movie where like a guy's like a basketball player but wants to be a chef?
The Luck of the Irish?
Beat Bobby Flay.
No, that's High School Musical.
No. I'm pretty sure there's one where like a guy tries to like cook against Bobby Flay, but maybe I'm getting a couple things confused.
I know the Luck of the Irish also has basketball. You'll have to find this one.
We got to do an entire episode on Disney Channel original movies.
Eddie's $1 million cook-off. Eddie is a baseball player, but he wants to be a chef.
Yes.
And he cooks out with Bobby Flay. Yeah,
I know that one. Yeah, I know that.
I don't remember that one.
That's funny stuff.
What else? Oh, the Lizzie McGuire movie too. Watch that. That's another one.
I saw you did watch that.
Yeah. So I've been enjoying my time with these DComs. The only new release I watched outside of Beekeeper was ISS. Pretty much exactly what you expect watching the trailer.
I still haven't seen it. Yeah.
It's really like the first thing I said when I walked out of the theater was that was not as bad as I thought it would be.
Is it like so it's theater, not streaming?
Yeah, that one I went to the theater for.
Probably won't get around to that one.
Yeah, that one you could wait for streaming or just F2 movies. But yeah, super fine movie. Really cool premise, but the movie does a lot very quickly that just kind of like ruins like the thrill of it all. Great Sam Smith album, by the way, The Thrill of It All. Just throwing that out there. Really
haven't heard that.
It's one of my favorites.
Sure.
I watched the remake of Black Christmas. I enjoyed it. I was reading through a lot of the Letterboxd reviews. A lot of people say it fucking sucks. I put it on because I just wanted another shitty horror movie in the background while I worked. I ended up locking myself in. I had a blast with that movie. A Night at the Roxbury, first time watch. The Amityville Horror remake, not good. Mistress America, which is an older 2015 Noah Baumbach movie starring Greta Gerwig. Really, really solid. And then Terminator 2 Judgment Day, which we will review on our Patreon exclusive this week. And then I watched Terminator Dark Fate, and I showed Victoria Inglourious Bastards for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah. She liked it. She liked it a lot more than she's usually not a very, violent, friendly viewer. So I was kind of like, listen, like this is a Tarantino movie. Like, you can expect, because she's seen Django. She's seen Pulp Fiction. So she kind of understands like who Tarantino is and like the violence that he kind of brings. So I kind of warned her about that, but she ended up really liking it. She was like audible throughout the movie. She was like, oh, no, oh my God. So she had a good experience. I think she gave it a 4-star, which is higher than I expected her to give Inglourious Bastards. Still too low, but higher than I had expected.
Emma gives it, like, she doesn't have Letterboxd, but she would give basically every single Tarantino movie that she's seen a -1 star. So I'm glad to hear Victoria liked it.
Yeah, she enjoyed it. She enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
Big week of going back and forth between her movies and my movies. So a nice little, I don't know. All right. I have no idea. We have one movie review of the week, which is The Zone of Interest. Myself and Tyler got a chance to watch it. Tyler more recently than I, so we will start with Tyler because this was I'm upset Seth's not here for this review because I'd love to hear you guys just talk about the movie instead of me, because like I'm not as high on it as I think most people. Most of my mutuals are 4.5 and 5 stars. So shoot your shit. What did you think of the movie?
Yeah, everyone's saying it, but it was just unlike anything I've ever seen before. So like the quick synopsis is not really even a plot synopsis. It's just the commandment of Auschwitz. Rudolf Haas and his wife Hedwig strive to build their dream life for their family in a house and garden next to the camp. So pretty much the whole premise of the movie is his family, the Haas family. He's the leader of the Auschwitz camp, and their family literally lived just over the wall from the camp, like right next door. So as a result of that, of course, living right next to a massive, one of the most well-known and recognized internment camps during the Holocaust, you're hearing that sound design, you're hearing these screams and bullets and furnaces and yelling and peril throughout the entire movie. It's in the background, just always never fading. It's just always there. You're always hearing it. And the sound design of mixing that while hearing all this horror, while also you're seeing just a normal family, like seemingly normal family. That's, they're talking about, they want to expand the garden a bit over here. They want to, what are they having for breakfast that day? What are they going to do this afternoon? We're going to go swim in the river. We're going to go fishing. Like getting that clash of the visual and audible where all this horror is going on that you can hear, but you never see it. Whereas when you're watching this family, they're clearly such an evil family. This man is literally the leader. And it's almost like at times, like something you watch at work for or he's talking like it's like a training video at work for like operational excellence. He's like, okay, how can we, increase our throughput? How can we make it more efficient? How can we share lessons learned with other camps throughout, Europe and make this more efficient every other places? So it's just such a chilling and haunting dichotomy of you're never seeing these horrors. You're hearing these guys talk about it like it's, how can we increase how many chips we're manufacturing for an iPhone? And I just thought it was just such a brilliant way to do a Holocaust film. It's unlike anything we've ever seen because, most times you see Holocaust films, you literally do see the horrors and they want to give you, those rewarding tear-jerking scenes, the kind of almost fake empathy in some ways where you're watching, the classic sad moment of a movie and you're like, oh man, this is awful. You get a good cry in and then the movie's over and you're like, yeah, that was a good movie. And you go on with your day, kind of not really thinking much more of it. Whereas the Zone of Interest really puts you in there and really dissects that and breaks it down and kind of shows you that, this isn't for entertainment. This isn't for making yourself kind of feel down and then feel better about yourself. It's really kind of putting you in the position of what are we really doing here with how we analyze history, how we analyze atrocities, and not even history, what's going on current day. We have Israel and Palestine right now, but like I mentioned in my review, I think this movie is very timely for right now with what's going on in the world, but I also think it will be in 10 years. I think it will be in 100 years. I think it will be in 1,000 years. I think we're always going to be going through something in the world where some global catastrophe, global atrocity is going on, where this is just going to reign true. And that's why I just think it was just such a masterpiece. There's production design and costume design that, the clothing they're wearing and, the setting, it makes you feel like, yeah, this is, during the World War II times, but really like a lot of it feels like, low budget in a sense of on purpose where like they didn't really try and fully immerse you back in that time period. So when you watch it, it does feel like, maybe this literally could be going on today. This could be a modern day movie other than like the clothing they're wearing. And I think that's kind of what adds to what's more haunting about it, which then kind of leads up that final scene where, the whole point it back at the viewer and kind of make you think about yourself and question what your purpose is here and watching this and reliving these horrors. And yeah, it just really worked for me. I don't think anyone in my theater liked it. And someone commented like saying that me thinking no one in my theater liked it was pretentious, but I mean, I'm not saying, I'm guessing they didn't like it. I literally sat through the entire end credits, which I would recommend because the score is so haunting. And then when I was walking out, there was all kinds of people saying like, that was shit. Why did I waste my time with this? How is this the Best Picture nominee? Which is a pro and con of it getting a Best Picture nomination. We're going to get a lot of people seeing this that would have never watched The Zone of Interest. I've probably never heard of Jonathan Glazer before, but because it's the Best Picture nominee and pretty much every single theater chain does like the, $5 to go see all the Best Picture nominees or whatever to check them all off, which a lot of people do. I think a lot of people are going to watch this that never would have, which is good because I think it's a movie that I want everyone to experience, even if it doesn't work for you. I just think it's something that everyone should see and try their shot with. But we're going to get a lot of people that are going to be, what the hell is this? How is this a Best Picture nominee? All that kind of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'll kind of leave it there for now and take a breath because I've been talking for a while, but I thought it was really good. I think it's really shows you how to maximize what you're doing with the elements of film, which is why I think it's a film that should be studied for years and decades to come. The score and acting, for example, like Sandra Hüller, great in this, but the entire Haas family, the entire Nazi soldiers, the servants they have in the house, they're all acting. Obviously they're actors, but they're not acting much. There's not going to be a single clip in this. Like we've seen A24 tweeting clips. There's not going to be like a Anatomy of a Fall breakup scene where they're yelling at each other. There's not going to be the Barbie monologue. There's not going to be like an Oppenheimer final monologue speech. Like there's not that moment in this movie where you could be like, wow, that is some of the best acting I've ever seen, but they're just so subtle in it throughout the film. Same thing with the score. The intro, the score is so chilling and haunting. There's a couple minor cuts throughout the movie where there's a little dash of score, and then the end credits, it comes back in. So I think the score is one of the most haunting and chilling of the year, but we get so little of it. So I just feel like it just shows that it's not, when Oscars nominate things, it's usually like not just best actors, like who did the most acting of the year for best score, like what was the most score of the year. Like I love Oppenheimer and Spider-Verse's score, but they're like very overwhelming scores in terms of how much there is. I still think they're like the best of the year, but this shows that it's not just about like the best, it's about how well you use it. And yeah, I mean, I'm just kind of jerking the movie off a bit, but I really enjoyed it.
That's what I wanted to like understand, like what made you give this a 5-star, because like I share the exact same sentiment that you do. Like this was. I saw this at the film festival, and when the movie ended and the credits started rolling, my theater was silent. You could hear a pin drop. No one kind of knew how to react. No one kind of like understood what they had just experienced, because it truly is like a very one of a kind experience. Like you said, you go into any movie with this type of synopsis, any synopsis that includes the words Auschwitz or, you know, concentration camp, you expect to have those, you know, tear-jerking moments. You expect to see things that are going to make you uncomfortable. But this movie does such a good job at kind of like you said, like hiding everything, but also it's in your face. Like you're watching this family just go about their day by day. But in the background, you're hearing the horrors of Auschwitz. So it's a very unique experience, and it's one of those. It's one of the only films at the film festival that I watched where like the theater was like no one even clapped when the credits started rolling. No one kind of knew how to react. Everyone was just kind of digesting what they had just watched. But it's odd. It's so I landed at a 3.5. I will say that's off of one viewing. And that viewing was in October. So just like May, December, I wish I had rewatched this prior to us reviewing it. Because I do think on second watch, I think my rating could either go up or down. I don't think it would land at a 3.5. But yeah, I share the same sentiments as you. But where my problem lies is I think the movie got very repetitive very quickly. And that's not necessarily a knock, because the entire movie got a reaction out of me. Every single scene, you know, made me feel uncomfortable. Like Jonathan Glazer does a very good job at making us as the audience question evil and its existence, because we are watching this family who is seemingly just a normal family. But then you have to understand like who this guy is, where he works, and everything that's going on behind the scenes. But you're basically watching just the same scene over and over again, which is, you know, German family doing normal family things while the horrors of Auschwitz are in the background. And it's not that I was like waiting for something to like actually happen, because obviously something is happening. You could hear it, you're experiencing it, you could fucking feel it. But my problem is just the movie got very repetitive, just very over and over again. It's just scene after scene, family doing family things while Auschwitz was in the background. Like I think this could have worked as a short film, if you ask me. You know, just a short film. You know, a cut of 3 quick scenes. You know, showcasing these families doing different family things while you hear Auschwitz in the background. But that's just a personal thing for me, because like I said, I do agree with every sentiment you basically shared about this movie. It was a very haunting and very unique experience, and it did leave me feeling very uncomfortable, because you're kind of watching this family, and you're kind of like, oh, like they seem like a nice family. But then you're kind of, as the movie goes along, like, you know, these kids are playing in the pool while you're hearing gunshots and furnaces in the background. And it kind of brings you back to reality. You're like, oh shit, like this is not a good family. Like from their perspective, yeah, they're doing what they're being told. They're doing what's right. But from our perspective, this sucks. This is some shitty shit. But yeah, I enjoyed my time with this. It was definitely one of the more unique experiences of everything I had seen at the film festival. One of the most one of the experiences at the festival where everyone kind of collectively was just like kind of, I don't want to say in shock, but more so just like in awe of like the experience that they just had. Like you said, I think Michael Levy's score was just haunting. But again, like you said, it was not in your face. It was very subtle. And I think that works very well with the back, because the haunting stuff that's going on in this movie is in the background. So I think it makes sense that the score is very, reserved. It's kind of like going on in the background just as the horrors are. And then we're going to go through Oscar nominations. It obviously got nominated a lot, and I think deservingly so. But yeah, that's about my rant. I landed at a 3.5. Like I said, I wish I had seen it again before we recorded this episode. Not a lot to really spoil, I would say. But is there anything specific you want to talk about?
Yeah, there's no real spoilers kind of to go over, but I'll just throw that up there just while I kind of talk about it a little more, just in case anything would be considered a spoiler. But I feel like at this point we haven't really spoiled much other than kind of the premise and how it impacted us. But yeah, I'd say this is one of those movies that obviously if anyone doesn't like it or doesn't hold it as highly as me, like this is probably one of the biggest, like most obvious examples where I'm like, yeah, totally understand. Like I have no issues. Like if you didn't, get as much out of it. And like, I'm not even saying like you with the 3.5, I'm saying like if people watch this and give it like a 1.5 or a 1, I'd be like, yeah, I mean, I can see why someone would come to that conclusion. Like when I was walking out of the theater, I was one of the last ones out because I sat through the entire end credits and there was this group of like 6 elderly people walking out and they're like, oh, thank God that's over. And me behind them, like, yeah, I can see that. Like, it's like haunting, traumatizing. Like, I'm kind of happy it's over too. And then they're like, then they follow that up by saying, how is that nominated for Best Picture? That movie sucked. And I was like, oh, okay, they're not actually kind of on the same wavelength as I am with my thinking of being happy it's over. But I literally had not like a full-on panic attack, and I mentioned this in my review. It was like in like the Oppenheimer Trinity test scene, you're like holding your breath, you're anticipating, you're waiting for this big explosion to happen. Whereas in this, there's so many moments where I just like was forgetting to breathe, like not even consciously. Like I would just be sitting in my seat and then be like, feel my heartbeat go really fast. I'm like, oh God, I haven't breathed in a while. And I didn't really understand why. Like I couldn't really pinpoint it. It was just, I think it was just the score is unrelenting and it never leaves you, or not the score, the sound design of just always hearing that you get entranced in this family and just going on their mundane day. And then just in the background, that's always there. And I feel like I was never noticing it, but there was like at least like 3 times this movie where I was just like, okay, breathe. Like, and I was like, this is weird how it's affecting me that way, which is probably why I elevated it so high to a 5. It's just because like at the end of the day, this, not only was this unlike anything I've ever seen, it kind of impacted me in ways that I've never really felt before. And yeah, I mean, it's a film that's going to refuse to spoon feed you. It's similar to all of Jonathan Glazer's works. I've only seen a couple of his other films between Sexy Beast and Under the Skin, where it's going to be a lot up to your interpretation and you're going to have to fill in a lot of gaps. It's not going to handhold you, but it's going to give you all kind of the ingredients to work with here. And I loved how it's just like the family's obviously evil the whole time, but it's slowly uncovered just how evil they are throughout, because you start with them just as his day at the lake, swimming. So you're like, I mean, there's a normal family at the end of the day. But then as it goes on, you see like the mother who makes a comment to like their servant who's a Jewish servant is just like, I could have them burn you and I'd spread you over my garden as fertilizer to regrow it. And just like so out of left field, it just makes such a terrible comment. And then you see the brothers playing in the backyard towards the end, and one of them kind of locks the other one in the greenhouse with like a broom, and it's kind of clear nod to probably like they're probably just like joking like, oh, I'm going to put you in a gas chamber, which is just such an evil thing that they so calmly play with. And one of the brothers collects gold teeth of killed Jewish people, and it's just like the fact that they're just so calmly going about their evil life, and the father obviously as well. And you kind of see that towards the end too, just how like deranged his mind is like, is he, because we'll talk about kind of the final sequence of him kind of walking down the stairs that are slowly getting darker and darker. And he kind of starts retching and like seeming like he's going to throw up. And then it kind of cuts to the more modern day look at the museum of the Holocaust Museum, seeing all the shoes and the suitcases and all these relics that are now a museum that we go and visit, to kind of similar to what Glazer is kind of trying to say throughout this whole film is, why do we go there? We go there to remember the atrocities, but also like, we kind of go there to be like, man, this is like awful, but I don't know if you ever really fully like absorb it. I know a lot of people have gone to like the Anne Frank house in Amsterdam, I believe, and that's really affecting as well. So it's like trying to look at how we look back at history and what we're trying to accomplish when we look back at history, and how people have been viewing history for an entertainment purpose as opposed to fully realizing what the evil is and how it's repeating itself over and over. And we always talk about the Holocaust, like how can we look back at this and avoid it from ever happening again? It's like, I mean, there's similar atrocities. I mean, I don't want to compare atrocities, but we're never in a state where it's not like World War II ended and it was like, all right, every single country in the world is now a perfect utopia and there's nothing bad going on in the world. There's always something going on somewhere, and we pay varying levels and degrees of attention to it. So I just thought it worked really well for me. And it was funny because the whole movie is so experimental and unlike anything you've seen. Like the cinematographer, let's see, I have his name here, Lucas Zoll. So a lot of the scenes in the house, he just had multiple cameras set up throughout the house. So you felt like you're kind of just getting a bird's eye view of this family. And the actors on screen never really knew which recording camera was going to be the final cut. So it's very much just like an observational look, so it's very experimental, and you're not going to get a linear plot or something that's going to spoon feed you. But then when it ended and he started retching on the stairs, like he's about to throw up, at first I was like, oh man, did they like just poison him? Because he just talked on the phone with his wife saying like, oh, how he just wishes he could gas everyone in this room. Like he hated all his coworkers as well. And I was like, oh, maybe they poisoned him. He's going to die. And then when he didn't do that, I was like, yeah, I guess I was stupid for even thinking that after this whole movie. Like, why would there be like a normal expected ending of like a cinematic climax of him like dying from poison or something? That's something that would happen in like a normal-ish movie as opposed to this. But yeah, I just think the ending I thought was just the icing on the cake for me. And then you kind of leads you right into the end credits with the score. Just crazy. The river scene, crazy. We didn't even talk about, like, I watched this movie after already seeing the Agrodrift trailer. So when there was like the local Polish woman that was leaving out apples for people and they kind of filmed her in night vision, I just kind of like did the Leonardo DiCaprio snap at my screen, like, oh, Agrodrift. But I think it's kind of interesting because I wonder if like Harmony Korine like watch this, because I haven't seen many movies personally that use like night vision and like the kind of effects the way they did in Zone of Interest. So I wonder if he's like, man, I really just made a whole movie about like with this, and now this is getting released before mine does. So now mine's not even going to look that groundbreaking. But that was cool too. Like there were just so many elements in here that were so awesome. And yeah, it kind of just all concludes with Rudolph at the end of the movie retching, and you can kind of interpret that like, is he actually retching due to, you know, they live right next to this ash, all the ash coming in the river and the water and the air? Is he just kind of consuming his lungs, or is it more, you know, metaphorical for retching from all the evil that he's been doing? But he's still going to just keep climbing darker down into the steps of darkness. And then one more thing I was going to mention about like the family slowly revealing how evil they are. When the mother comes to visit, she ends up leaving in the middle of the night, and Sandra Hüller's character can't find her. And she's like, what, my mom just left like out of nowhere? And it's kind of like the mom came and she's like supporting what they're doing. And obviously she's part of that environment, but she can't escape the shots. She can't escape the screams, the fire burning at night, and the ash flying in the air as she escapes. She's like, I can't be a part of this. And then Sandra Hüller is like at a loss for words. She's like, how, like, she didn't even realize that would even be an issue, because to them, they don't even notice anything going on. It's just at this point, it's like, you know, living in the city and hearing ambulances going by. It's just something you don't really pay attention to because it's so second nature. But I'll kind of leave it there for me. 5-star for me, mainly because of how much it affected me. I think it's a film that's, I obviously appreciate it a lot more than like I enjoyed, but I don't really know if anyone would ever watch this movie and like enjoy it. Just not only just due to like experimental nature, but just due to the heavy subject matter. But appreciate a lot of it. If I'm ever going to try and make films one day, I'm definitely going to study a lot of things in this. And the big takeaway for me is just how well they used minimal usage of things, but got maximum impact out of them. And I thought that was very well done. But yeah, I'll leave it there. 5-star for me. Was really close to a 4.5 star, but simply because I just forgot to breathe during the movie, I was like, this should probably be 5-star.
Dude, keep it going. That was the best movie rant I think anyone's ever had on this podcast.
Well, Seth wasn't here today, and I knew he thought very highly of this. So I'm like, I got a Zone of Interest 5-star. I got to strap on the backpack and get this going.
I don't even want to talk and like taint that review. I want to just end it there because Jesus, you kind of covered everything. That was not. I was like, when is he gonna breathe? But you didn't breathe during the movie. You didn't breathe during the review either.
Yeah, I had to get these words out, man. But yeah, like I said, I want everyone to see this movie. And I like I said, there's a lot of people in my theater that I'm not predicting hated it. I know they did based on hearing comments. There's people talking during the movie too, which really pissed me off. They're like, I don't know. It's just like, that's the thing. This is the Best Picture nominee. A lot of people are going to see it that weren't otherwise going to see it, which is a good thing. But we're going to get a lot of interesting takes coming out because of it. So, you know,
it was
go see it and see what you think.
It was a Q&A with Jonathan Glazer, and I think one of the producers, and Sandra Hüller, after the movie at the film festival. And there was, I think, 3 people that like screamed out like during the Q&A while Jonathan Glazer was talking, like questions of their own without being called on. And it was all like, I don't know. I forgot what the exact questions were, but they were all basically like, how could you make something like this and like put a smile on your face while you talk about it? Like something like that. Like who gave you the right to make this? All negative comments basically that were just screamed out during these Q&As for this movie, which was fun. I mean, not fun, but it was fun to like be there and watch.
How did he just like ignore the people screaming out?
Yeah, the moderator, he ignored it. The moderator was like, "We're not going to take audience questions yet." But yeah, that was it was an interesting experience. But we're gonna wrap it there. Like I said, I don't even want to taint that beautiful rant that you just went on. But yeah, Seth and Tyler both give this a 5-star. I landed on a 3.5 star after one viewing, but I definitely would like to watch it again, and I maybe will before the Oscars. We got our man Cameron back. All right, we're gonna move on. Woo. Like I said at the beginning of the episode, trailers fucking galore this week. And again, not only just a bunch of trailers worth talking about. So let's start quickly with the one TV trailer for Avatar: The Last Airbender. I'll chat a little bit about that. I don't even know if you guys care.
I didn't see it, but you can take it away. I
that's
didn't
fair.
watch
That's fair. That's
fair.
I like
Avatar a lot.
Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited. I know I've been seeing all over film Twitter. People are like, "Oh, why are we turning something that was animated into live action? Like, why are we doing this?"
Money.
Yeah, money. But like, from my perspective, this is one of, if not my favorite TV shows of all time. I fucking adore Avatar: The Last Airbender. So any more Avatar content we can get, I'm with it. And I think the trailer looks good. I think the trailer genuinely looks good. I would not be sitting here, praising this effort and sharing my excitement if I didn't think this trailer looked good. But the production design, the costume design, it looks insane. The bending in live action from what they showed looks really, really solid. As do the characters and the castings. Obviously, can't speak on that fully until we like obviously see a couple of episodes. But from the trailers, I think the castings look great. I'm very excited to see sort of how closely book one is going to follow book one of the TV show. I think everyone kind of has that sour M. Night Shyamalan taste in their mouth where
that movie's ass. That's why.
Yeah, the movie sucks, and his
don't
book
let people
one,
on the internet tell you otherwise.
Yeah, the movie sucks. Like his movie doesn't even include the Kyoshi Warriors, so it's very. There's clearly a very big separation between M. Night's book one and the animated show's book one. So I'm excited to see how the live action show kind of handles that. But overall, I'm fucking excited. I really am. That trailer put such a big smile on my face. When the main Avatar theme came up and you see like Appa just riding through the sky, I'm like, oh, this is going to be so exciting. I believe this comes out February 22nd.
Is it? Awesome.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah. I think February 22nd. I'm in this like group chat on Instagram with a bunch of other like New York creators. None of them are like in our like circle of like film community. But I had met one of them at one of the premieres and he added me to this chat. A couple of them yesterday DM'd in that chat saying Netflix sent me an early screener of Avatar. Yeah, and I was like, God, you're such a fucking prick, man. Like, fuck off.
Tell them to send it to you.
I immediately checked my email for it. I was like, let me just double check, see if I'm as important as these people.
Yeah.
Which
I'm excited for it. I think it looks really good, like you mentioned, and then like a show has enough time to flesh out like the show of the animator. I'm not saying it's needed to be made, but it's money. So if they're gonna make it, you might as well make it good, right? So that people can enjoy it. So hopefully they did that. I think it looks really awesome. Like you mentioned, the production design, and I think the bending looks really good. Appa and Momo look awesome. They don't look like an Ant-Man and the Wasp when they're touching like nothing. And it's just, look at this thing we're flying on. We'll see how it is when it comes out. It's getting praised like the One Piece live action did. So like, that's good. Or people I think have said that. And from what I've heard, like the live action One Piece is awesome. I've never seen the animated or the live action, so I can't comment on it, but I'm really excited for it. I loved this thing as a kid. I rewatched it in college. I'm definitely not as high as you, George. I probably should rewatch the animated series again if I want to know like what's going on. But at this point, I may just I'll probably just leave it up to the live action. I'm hoping it's great. You know, I'm tired of bad. I have no issues with a live action remake. I'm tired of bad live action remakes.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it's great.
Tired of just watching trash left and right. That's it. Second trailer, we had a remake of Roadhouse. I'm gonna be honest, I've never seen the original Roadhouse, so that is on my watch list. I definitely need to check that off because one, I'm just interested to see how closely the story follows the original, and how much of a new story this is gonna be. But I thought the trailer looked great. I think it's kind of exactly what you would expect from a Jake Gyllenhaal, Conor McGregor starring Roadhouse movie. Just tough guys being dudes and just kicking the shit out of people. I think it looked like a really fun time. I'm sad it's coming straight to streaming. I feel like this would have been a fun one to see in theaters. Tyler, your thoughts? I know you just watched
Roadhouse.
Original.
Yeah, and I watched it. For people listening, I think it was on Max. I know it's for sure on a streaming service I watched. I'm pretty sure it's Max was the one I watched it on. So if you want to watch it, but honestly, so I picked it in my most anticipated draft, I guess 2 weeks ago at this point. It was released a week ago. And the trailer just kind of confirmed it more for me, because when it was going initially to streaming, that obviously sets off a lot of alarm bells. But then we saw like Doug Liman, the director, come out and be like how pissed he was it was going to streaming. He thought it was promised it was going to go to theaters. So when they made this, it wasn't expected to be, just a straight to streaming release. And what we also talked about when we were talking about the most anticipated films and movies for this year is we expected Conor McGregor to be like an opening fight, an end fight, not a major role in this. He looks like he's going to be a major role in this. And honestly, like, love or hate Conor McGregor, like, I've fully bought him in that trailer. Like, I was like, I'm in for this. I think he was like the freaking scene with the golf club going and swinging and then headbutting Jake Gyllenhaal. I was like, okay, I'm down for this. And so the original Roadhouse, I actually don't, let's see, where did it take place? I thought it was more middle America, but this one's in the Florida Keys. And John Dalton is Patrick Swayze in this one, whereas Elwood Dalton is Jake Gyllenhaal in this. So I'm wondering if it's going to be like a son or grandson type of thing. And then the love interest in the original one is Elizabeth Clay, and Daniela Melchior, and this one is Ellie. So maybe that's going to be like an Elizabeth Jr. and she goes by Ellie. Like, who knows? Like, I think there's going to be some connections there, so it's going to be somewhat related. But this looks like a lot of fun to me. I love the cast, like not just Jake Gyllenhaal and Conor McGregor and Daniela Melchior. Billy Magnuson, love him in Game Night. He's hilarious in Game Night. Lucas Gage, didn't even know he was in it. I was like, hell yeah, because he was one of the people I got to interview last year for How to Blow Up a Pipeline. Did not realize he was in it, but he's kind of like the bouncer that Jake Gyllenhaal's training in this, because the whole kind of premise of the original Roadhouse in this is Jake Gyllenhaal's the biggest badass around town. There's a bar that has a lot of ruffians in it. So he goes in there and he has to train all the bouncers on how to handle business the right way. But this looks like it's going to be a lot more broader than the first Roundhouse, which was much more just about like a corporation kind of owns the town, trying to take it over. And in this one, it looks like that, but also more, I don't know, it goes more into the criminal conspiracy, I think, than the original did, where the original focused a lot more on the bar. And but yeah, the original's fun. Like Sam Elliott's in it as well as one of the badass bouncers. Really like the cast. Fun time. I think it's going to be just as fun. I'm expecting like a 3.5-ish range, maybe more. But yeah, I wish I got to see it in theaters. Like seeing Jake Gyllenhaal beat up people like Southpaw was so fun. I wish we could see him do it again here. But just the opening sequence of the trailer was like Jake Gyllenhaal. It was like him, a mix of like his modern Action Day star with like the deranged look in his eyes that you'd see in like Nightcrawler. I was like, oh, this is like a culmination of all his previous roles into one. It just looks like such a fun time. I'm so excited for this movie.
This is his magnum opus. This is the role he's been waiting for.
Yep, for sure. And I showed Riley the trailer and she's like, Jake Gyllenhaal is such like a sleeper build, because when he's wearing clothes, like he just looks like, I mean, he looks like a fit guy, but then like he takes the shirt off and he's like ripped out of his mind.
Yeah. Connor, I think, was fucking hilarious, because like it's one of those situations where it feels like he's not even acting.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't even give him a script. They gave him a golf club and they said, just go torture this bar real quick and go get into it with Jake Gyllenhaal or something, which I find fucking hilarious. But yeah, trailer looks great. Trailer looks like a ton of fun. We also got a trailer to the new Sydney Sweeney horror movie Immaculate, which I think just looks like a bad version of The Nun, or just The Nun, because The Nun is not a good movie. But Sydney Sweeney in a horror movie is something I've kind of been looking forward to for a while. I know a lot of people fan cast her in a lot of horror movies, especially since her days of Euphoria, and I guess how good of an actress she is when it comes to like crying and screaming. So horror has always been kind of on the Sydney Sweeney bucket list. So it's cool that we're getting to see her. I'm more excited for her performance than I am for the movie. I don't think the movie looked that good. I'm sure Cam did not watch this trailer. Did you watch it?
Yeah, and I think I mentioned like a few months ago on the pod that I'm like just tired of so many horror movies just continuing to be like religious and nuns, and it looks like we're getting more of it here. But
yeah,
if people haven't seen, this is also on Max, Reality from last year. Sydney Sweeney is probably her best acting performance I've ever seen. It's like a basically 90 minutes straight of just stress where she's being interrogated by the FBI for her involvement in like leaking NSA documents, and she's so good in that. And it's a stressful ass movie, but I recommend watching it to see, like, if you're on the fence, like if you didn't watch Euphoria and all you know her from is like Madam Web and Anyone But You, like she has serious acting chops. So I think this could be good. I mean, I'm excited for it purely because of her. Just to see, I mean, if she's going to make that dive into horror, like you're saying, I feel like she would. Like she's at the point in her career where she's such a big name that she can probably pick and choose projects. So I'm sure she picked something that has at least some interest in it and intrigue. So we'll see.
Cam, did you watch the trailer to Immaculate?
Yeah, I did.
Did you really?
Yeah, of course. I can watch trailers because I'm sitting in a bright room.
Fair.
I don't know. I like Sydney Sweeney a lot, and she's great in most everything she does. I've never seen Euphoria, but obviously I think that's her like most. I don't know if it's her best performance, but it's not like casting her. I feel like in the avenue she's getting cast in right now, which is just like very attractive girl, which she is, but she's also a very good actress. So this is interesting to see her in this role. Kind of broaden the filmography a little bit. I think I didn't watch, what was it from last year?
Reality.
Yeah,
we were just talking about that.
Okay, yeah. So maybe I'm just not watching the right stuff, and everything that it's marketed of her is just like very attractive girl. Which again, yeah, she fits in, but she's also a very great actress. So you can throw her in different things, and I think she'll do well. So will I see it? Who knows? But maybe it didn't look like the trailer didn't look horrible from a scare point. And I also saw it's more like a psychological horror, which is sometimes, I can watch because they're less like pure horror. So we'll see. Maybe I'll see it.
Can't wait to see her in Madam Web as well next month or this month.
Crazy set photos just came out.
Insane, dude. All right, we also got a trailer to Aggro Drift, which is Harmony Korine's new movie, the guy that did Spring Breakers.
Jesus.
Entire movie shot in infrared. I don't know if I could do an entire movie.
You got to go to the club to watch this. You got to go to the club.
Yeah, is that true?
Yeah, they're premiering it at like a strip club in LA, I think. But I'm sure it's going to come to theaters at some point. Or I don't know.
So funny.
I don't know. I think it looks good though. Like I don't know. Like we'll see if I watch it in like a theater with 90 minutes of it. If it like makes my brain bleed. But the trailer alone like looked honestly like cool enough and interesting enough. Like it's not even just. Like there was like some big monster like looking beast at the end too. I was like, I'm all in for it. Like I think maybe 90 minutes of it I might blow my brains out or something because it's gonna like stain my eyes, but
it's gonna hurt.
I'm in. The trailer alone, I'm like, let's see what this is all about. I'm excited.
It looks like a Mr. Beast video on crack or something.
I will not be going to the strip club to see it though. So whenever it comes out anywhere else.
Oh, Owen will be going for sure. There's no doubt in my mind Owen will get there. It kind of gave me like the opening portion of the trailer where there's like the voiceover and he's like, I'm an assassin. It kind of gave me like Mad Max vibes with like the voiceover of like Tom Hardy at the beginning of Mad Max. Obviously very different movies, but I don't know. This is.
Yeah, I think you just have. I think the only way to watch this is on LSD. Like I don't think you have an option watching it sober. It just doesn't seem like you can watch this sober.
It's gonna have the craziest letterbox graph. I already know it. I already know it.
I'm gonna ask.
It's gonna be. This is gonna be the Skinamarink of this year. It's gonna be the Skinamarink of this year. Without a doubt.
I'm going to ask Emma if we can go to the strip club.
All right. We also, Zac Efron's follow-up to The Iron Claw is a comedy, a raunchy comedy, I guess, starring himself and John Cena called Ricky Stenicki, which I thought was hysterical. Basically, they've been making up that they have like this group of friends makes up that they have this friend named Ricky Stenicki, I guess to hang out with in order to get out of doing things with their wives. And this time around, they're going to see Ricky Stenicki, and their wives are getting suspicious. So they hire John Cena's character to play Ricky Stenicki, and I guess it's just a whirlwind of laughs and raunchy comedy. I thought the trailer looked fun. I thought it looked like genuinely funny.
William H. Macy I see is in the cast too, so I'm in for that also. And Andrew Santino, he's always funny in everything he's in. So I think it looks fun. It's a Prime Video original that's coming out like 2 weeks before the Prime Video original Roadhouse. So like I'm kind of mentioning, it kind of sucks, but Prime Video's originals starting to, because we know Netflix has kind of been the king of originals lately. Like we kind of mentioned, they had a ton of Oscar players last year and just some big releases. And now Prime Video 2 in 1 month that aren't, the same level. Like they're not gonna be Oscar contenders, but they both are stuff that I genuinely want to watch and won't just like watch just to check off another watch list movie. So yeah, I don't know. Good job, Amazon, I guess.
I have full prediction that this thing's going to be really, 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 really bad. Like I am 100% certain this is going to average a 1 out of 5 on Letterboxd. It's going to have like a 22% on Rotten Tomatoes with like a 60% audience score. It's going to have like a 3.8 on IMDb. These are my predictions. I love to be that guy that's like, yeah, raunchy comedies are back. They've never been back. It's like
I've been seeing so
it's
many
like the
of those
MCU,
comments.
man. We've never been back.
Yeah.
But,
we've been so far from back.
Yeah, we're struggling to like be front.
I just have faith in the cast because also Jermaine Fowler, he was in The Blackening, which I loved from last year. So it's just kind of they're collecting the right people. It's just a matter of if they can pull it off.
John Cena, I think, is really funny.
And so is Zac Efron. Zac Efron's got that comedic timing down.
I saw people say, actually, I think it was Soups who I saw say this. What was it? What's that one movie he's in? It's not him. Sorry. It's Michael B. Jordan, Miles Teller, Pete Davidson.
That awkward moment.
Awkward moment. That movie sucks ass, man.
No, I love that movie.
No, that movie's so bad. It's not funny. Sorry. That's my and people have like, and again, I think it was Soups who I saw say that, but maybe other people are saying like it looks like that. And that immediately made me think like that movie's ass. So why would you want this? But have you
guys ever seen Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates?
Yeah, that movie was so stupid.
That's a stupid movie, but it's funny.
I watched that in high school.
But that's kind of what I'm expecting from like this movie. Like, what's that
movie?
Then
my prediction stands.
Exactly.
22.
We're all gonna rate it a 2-star.
Yeah,
but we're gonna say it was a funny time.
I don't know.
To be fair, that awkward moment, I rated 3-star, but like love it, and I think that's because like it's so bad that like 3 stars, similar to you with what's that acapella movie?
Pitch Perfect.
Pitch Perfect, where you're like, I love it, but
yeah, that was crazy.
No, Cam's literally the one who always says like, I love it, but 4 stars is the absolute highest I could give it.
4.5.
That's the same for me with 3. That awkward moment. It's like 3 is probably the highest I could justifiably give this, but I love it.
Understandable. I don't have it rated. I probably haven't seen it in 10 years.
There's going to be one of your class while you're recording a podcast. You're going to go in and log it as like a 0.5 star.
Yeah, it was Zac Efron. I was right. I swear Pete Davidson was in this thing.
No, I don't think so. I think that was before Pete Davidson was like as big as he is.
Before Pete Davidson's time.
Yeah, maybe I'm thinking of something else. But I had the other 2 right. I was on it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, and the last trailer that we got this week, probably the best trailer I would say for me at least, is the new Dev Patel starring and directed Monkey Man, and this is a Jordan Peele produced movie. And I read somewhere, I read on Twitter, so we don't know how true this is, but I read on Twitter that basically this movie was going to come straight to streaming initially, and then Jordan Peele saw the movie, loved it so much that I guess he provided the producing funding to get a theatrical run. Which is fucking awesome. Obviously, I know for myself, Jordan Peele is 3 for 3. So if he's telling me this movie bangs, I'm going to listen and I'm going to be there opening night. And that trailer did bang. Obviously, the John Wick comparisons are being made, which I think are warranted. It's very neon. It's very over choreographed in a really like fun way. And Dev Patel is just a fucking legend. Obviously, he's fantastic in Lion. I think his best performance is the Green Knight. So this is something immediately I was very excited for. What did you guys think?
I think it looks great. Jordan Peele producing gives me more confidence, but also I'm a little worried. Like he owns Monkey Pop Productions. He had a Monkey and Nope. Maybe you just saw Monkey Man. He's like, need that in my resume. I need more monkeys in the resume. But no, this trailer ripped. Dev Patel directing. I'm all in for it. Everything about this looks awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited to see him behind the camera because this is his first directing credit, right? Yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah, I think that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm excited for it as well. I think it looks incredible. I'm shocked you didn't. Do you like $1 Million Baby or yeah? What was it? What's Dev Patel's million movie?
Slumdog Millionaire.
Slumdog Millionaire. That's it. $1 Million Baby's the boxing one, right?
Yeah, with
Slumdog Millionaire. That's the one. Do you like that movie? I like it a lot.
I mean, it's definitely not a Best Picture. Maybe
I think I gave it like a 3.5 or something.
Yeah, because it won Best Picture, right? I'm pretty sure it won Best Picture.
It did. That's my favorite movie.
It launched his career to be able to star in Avatar. I mean,
oh God, I forgot he played Prince Zuko. Oh
Hell
my God.
Hell yeah. Good for him.
Wow. I mean, I'm happy he saved his career after that because that could have very well been career ruining performance.
Yeah. That's he already like could fall back on, like you mentioned, a Best Picture winner. Yes, it did win in 2008. Again, shout out Wikipedia. Pull that up quick. I'm not gonna donate, but I really like that movie. I think Dev Patel's fantastic. I haven't seen Lion, but he's amazing in Green Knight.
I'm pretty sure. I think Lion was his sole Oscar nomination.
Good for him. Good for him.
Yeah. So shout out Dev.
I'm excited. I think it looks very fun. Hopefully it is.
I mean, it can't not be fun, but a lot of trailers, a lot of good stuff. Let's move on. Obviously, the big news since the last time we recorded was the Oscar nominations. Busy morning. I know Cam, you kicked ass on our Twitter, so shout out Cam for that hard work.
I only messed one thing up. I did say Margot Robbie got
nominated. Oh yeah, you put Margot Robbie, right? Yeah.
I had it typed out already, and I swear,
cancel ReelTok.
I was watching the show. I had it typed out, and I swear I saw Margot Robbie. So I was like, click send.
Hey, going through the nominations, I didn't do a bad job with the predictions I gave you.
No, you didn't do horrible.
Like I think you obviously had to make a bunch of edits, but not too many.
No, you didn't do too bad. I appreciate. It's a good starting point. It's what I needed.
Yeah. All right.
But they let's go through them, by the way.
They fly. Yeah. They don't give you any time to breathe. They fly.
Well, it's at 5:30 a.m. their time. So they're like, let's just get in and get out.
They want to get back to bed. But yeah, this is fucking 23 categories. They tackled it in like 7 minutes. It gives you no time to tweet or anything. But all right, Best Picture. We have American Fiction, Anatomy of a Fall, Barbie, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, Past Lives, Poor Things, and The Zone of Interest. This was basically the 10 that everyone predicted. I personally had The Color Purple in there over American Fiction. Good comms, Tyler. I had The Color Purple over American Fiction, but they went the American Fiction route. They ended up loving American Fiction, which we'll kind of see. I think it picked up a total of 5 nominations, including a screenplay nomination. But everything else pretty much expected. We have the Barbenheimer duo in there. Past Lives and Poor Things are in there. Poor Things, I think, probably going to pick up the second most awards behind Oppenheimer. That's my prediction. Killers of the Flower Moon is kind of starting to feel like it got, what did it get? 10 nominations.
Got 10 nominations. Yep.
I think it has a real chance at winning 1 award. Which is sad. Yeah, I think the only award
Best Supporting or Best Actress. Sorry,
Best Actress.
I think it's the only shot they have it winning.
Yeah, I think it's the only shot. Like Tyler said, the only shot they have it winning an award.
My guess is 3.
I don't know. I like we'll go through it, but like all the tech categories, I think are going to be heavily favored in towards of Oppenheimer, but I also think past Poor Things is going to pick up a few things.
Past Lives isn't winning shit, unfortunately.
Yeah, Past Lives. I think
it nominated.
Original screenplay, maybe.
Yeah, I'm still holding out for original screenplay for Past Lives, but I do think The Holdovers is going to win. But other than that's pretty much that was the expected 10 as we kind of ran through awards season. Obviously, everyone would have loved
Iron Claw.
Yeah, everyone would have loved to see the Iron Claw and even Across the Spider-Verse, but Iron Claw came out way too late, I think, to be up for Oscar consideration, and Spider-Verse, I don't think was ever going to happen.
Yeah. Should have. Cowards.
Cowards. Absolutely should have. Best Director, Justine Triet for Anatomy of a Fall, Martin Scorsese for Killers, Nolan for Oppenheimer, Yorgos Lanthimos for Poor Things, and Jonathan Glazer for The Zone of Interest. Obviously, the big news is Greta being quote-unquote snubbed for Best Director. I don't think this is this is not my 5, but I haven't
seen 2 of them, so
I don't think Greta not being here is a snub.
I think Celine's song was more
Celine's song was a snub. She absolutely should have been in this 5, I think.
Who directed Godzilla -1? I forget his name.
Takashi Yamazaki.
Takashi Yamazaki. He was snubbed, damn it. Good he should have been in there.
Yeah, I mean, just watch the ReelTok Awards if you want, the actual nominees. But yeah, those are 5 for Best Director. Again, nothing like this feels, and a lot of people have been saying this since the Golden Globes, this just feels like a very safe awards season. Like no awards body outside of really the Critics' Choice has done anything to like blow our minds. Where like last year, I think there were just so many movies that were just in contention for so many awards that it just made for such an interesting awards season. Best Actress, Annette Bening in Naiad. How? Lily Gladstone for Killers of the Flower Moon, Sandra Hüller for Anatomy of a Fall, Carey Mulligan for Maestro, and Emma Stone for Poor Things. Tyler, I'm pretty sure you're the only one here that saw Naiad. How did that happen?
Yeah, I have no clue. It became kind of an awards darling because both her and Jodie Foster started getting some recognition for Best Actress and Supporting Actress. But yeah, I mean, it's just a very average movie, and the acting is fine. It's not bad acting. It's just meh. It's just whatever. But I did a ranking of my Best Actress nominees yesterday, and I was saying like Annette Bening clearly I don't think deserved it. I think there's other people who should have been in there, whether it's Greta Lee or Margot Robbie or let's see, trying to think more of that, but still other actors I think deserved it more. But I think the top 4, the other 4, Gladstone, Hüller, Mulligan, and Stone, all delivered some like the best performances I've seen in like years for Best Lead Actress. So all 4 of them are like titans of this category. I think Emma Stone should win it, but I think Lily Gladstone, I wouldn't be mad to see her win it either. Obviously, I'd be very happy for that. And same with Sandra Hüller. Carey Mulligan, I don't know. I feel like she's like a little bit below the other 3, even though I love her and her performance. It carried Maestro, but
number 1.
But yeah, for me, I think the 3 of Lily, Sandra, and Emma, I think any of them winning it would be awesome.
Yeah, this is like, I don't know. This is maybe the most stacked category of the entire Academy Awards. I watched Poor Things first, and in my review, I wrote Emma Stone just locked in her 2nd Academy Award. Then I watched Maestro, and I go, damn, Carey Mulligan may have just taken that award from Emma Stone. And then I watched Anatomy of a Fall, and I'm like, holy shit, Sandra Hüller, I think, just locked in her first Oscar. And so I've been going back and forth between the 3 of them for forever. I think it's going to come down to Emma and Lily, and I do think Lily's going to win. But I don't know. I don't think Lily missing a BAFTA is as important as a lot of people think. Her missing the Critics' Choice, though, losing that to Emma, that's big. But we'll see. Best Actor, Bradley Cooper awards for Maestro. They're all fake awards, except for ReelTok. That's facts.
Yeah, Lily missing ReelTok was a big blow.
Yeah,
that one.
Huge blow.
True.
Best Actor, Bradley Cooper for Maestro, Coleman Domingo for Rustin.
I just farted at Bradley Cooper.
Yeah, we heard that.
Yeah, I don't actually think he's that bad. I actually think he's really good.
Coleman Domingo for Rustin, Paul Giamatti for The Holdovers, Cillian Murphy for Oppenheimer, and Jeffrey Wright for American Fiction. Obviously, the biggest, I would call it a snub, is DiCaprio for Killers of the Flower Moon not being here. Coleman Domingo for Rustin picking up this much like heat is a little surprising, considering that the movie is not nearly getting the reception that, you know, the holdovers are. It's not even getting like the reception that Maestro is getting. Like Maestro is getting infinitely better reception than Rustin. So the inclusion of that nomination is a little surpurrising.
It was like
I know
last
a lot
year with Ana de Armas and Blonde.
Oh yeah, and Blonde. Wow, I forgot she was nominated for that. That's disgusting.
I said should have won.
Okay. This is coming down between Paul Giamatti and Cillian Murphy. Cillian Murphy is gonna pick up the BAFTA, and then I think whoever picks up SAG is winning this award. But I know a lot of people are kind of like, it's locked for Cillian Murphy, and I'd love to say it's locked for Cillian Murphy, but I don't think it is. I think there's a very, very good chance that Paul Giamatti wins this award. And I'll be happy either way. I think they're both fucking fantastic in their respective movies. Bradley Cooper is going to have a miserable night at the Oscars because the only thing he's going to win is makeup and hair. And I don't even know if that's a lock to win that, but he might go home empty-handed, in which he'll be put on the suicide watch list.
I think they'll win makeup and hairstyle. I feel like the Oscars love prosthetics. Like if there's anyone with a fat suit or like a fake nose, but for me, like Coleman Domingo didn't deserve to be nominated. Bradley Cooper, whatever, is a fine performance, but I wouldn't have nominated him. But Jeffrey Wright absolutely would be my top 5, and then Cillian Murphy and Paul Giamatti are my top 2. And I just feel like Cillian Murphy had so much more to do and so much more weight on his back in Oppenheimer. Even though I think like performance for performance, I think both of them gave some career-defining performances. I just think Cillian Murphy just had more on his plate, so I hope he wins it, but I'd be happy either way.
Zac Efron should have won. You're all fucking cowards.
Again, it came out way too. A lot of people are saying it came out after the deadline. Not true. It just came out late. It happens to movies all the time.
Killing myself in front of the Academy in support of him. Fuck you guys.
I don't think that would do anything.
I'll do it right
Jesus Christ. Best cinematography, El Conde, Killers of the Flower Moon, Maestro, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. I got no idea what El Conde is.
No, it's on Netflix, and I want to watch it. Like the synopsis kind of sounds like it rips. So, Chilean dictator Augusto Pinochet is a 250-year-old vampire. Now tired of his life, he wants to die at last after the disgrace and family crisis he has caused. So he slays vampire hunters who attempt to kill him, but now he's like wants to die. So I mean, it's a vampire movie, so I mean, like I'm in. I'll watch it.
How long is it?
Google, come on, it doesn't give me an answer. It's 1 hour 50, rated R.
Perfect. Cue that up on the phone, 1.5 speed. You can't get better than that for cinematography. So perfect.
Cinematography.
Can't wait.
The other 4 were kind of expected. I think a lot of people expected a Past Lives nomination over El Conde. And a lot of people were even thinking Society of the Snow could have gotten a nomination here. I personally would have thrown John Wick into the bunch.
The Killer.
John Wick. Oh, The Killer as well. But John Wick, disgustingly snubbed this year. I mean, expectedly snubbed, unfortunately, but definitely should have been up for more. Best visual effects. This one actually kind of surprised me. The Creator, Godzilla -1, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning Part 1, and Napoleon.
Godzilla Part 1.
Yeah,
I think no longer a Part 1. Tough.
Wait, what do you mean?
They changed the name of Mission Impossible to Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, and they removed the Part 1.
Yeah.
Oh, did they really? I didn't see that.
Yeah.
But also it like very much ends on a cliffhanger, so
who knows where they go from
here.
Yeah.
I think it's because who was Mission Impossible produced by? Because didn't what's his name just signed? Tom Cruise just signed that big deal with Warner Bros. I don't know.
But I'm sure there's some Mission Impossible specific contract or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Probably. But beside the point.
Yeah. Big omission I think that everyone is kind of screaming about is Across Spider-Verse.
Yeah, you fucking idiots.
Yeah, like you're just how do you not? I mean, it's crazy that this isn't even the worst Spider-Verse snub that we're going to talk about. I think it gets way worse. I know you guys. Well, actually, did you guys ever watch When Evil Lurks?
Nope.
Sorry, I'm kind of tracking back to cinematography right now, but I think I could have easily gotten a cinematography nomination. I'm surprised Poor Things didn't squeak its way into visual effects. I could have absolutely seen that, given how much the Academy is loving Poor Things. But all right, moving on. Best sound: The Creator, Maestro, Mission Impossible, Dead Reckoning, Oppenheimer, and The Zone of Interest. This is, I think Oppenheimer is winning this award. I think it's a 2-horse race between Oppenheimer and The Zone of Interest, but I do think Oppenheimer is going to pull away with a lot of these tech categories.
I'd be happy to hear The Zone win this one, though.
Yeah, I'd have no problem with Zone winning this one. But just like the ReelTok Awards, I think Oppie is going to sweep the shit out of this year.
Yeah.
Best film editing: Anatomy of a Fall, very deserved. The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. I think
Killers could win this. I don't know shit, but I think Killers wins three awards. I could
see it picking it up here.
This is one of them.
Yeah.
Still think it's gonna be Oppenheimer, but I could see Killers.
Yeah,
I can see all of them. The Holdovers I wouldn't put like as a winner potential here, but I think Anatomy, Killers, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, they could all win this one. I can see.
Yeah, I would have tossed Perfect Days into this lineup, respectfully.
Dude, I watched the trailer for Perfect Days played before The Zone of Interest, and it like gave you a taste of the soundtrack. I was like, man, I forgot how the soundtrack is just
soundtrack was
10
so
out of 10.
good.
The only true 10 out of 10 soundtrack.
Every single time another song came on, I started tearing up in that theater, man. I swear to God,
So
I got to rewatch that movie. Production design: Barbie, Killers of the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppie, and Poor Things. 4 of the expected 5. I think Napoleon was kind of the big squeak in here. I think a lot of people were pulling for Wonka, in especially production and a lot of people. I think I texted that in my prediction. I think I had it in costume or production design. I think I had it in one of them.
I think it was a good 5 though.
Yeah, I think this is a great 5.
In my opinion, they had 4 and they just threw a dart at a dartboard to get that. Like, Barbie, Killers, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things were like, yeah, throw them in. And then they're like, shit, we need 5 guys. So they just chucked something at a dartboard and pulled out Napoleon.
Oh, you know what? Backtracking to best sound, I know a lot of people were thinking of Ferrari, which is if it were to get a nomination, that would have been the only one I would have squeaked in. But okay, movie. Animated
hero.
Animated feature: The Boy and the Heron, Elemental, Nimona, Robot Dreams, and Spider-Verse.
Nimona's gonna win or some shit.
Robot Dreams I'm hoping for. That's my number 1. Actually, unironically.
I think Boy and the Heron is gonna win.
I mean it's a 2-man race, I'm pretty sure, Electric Cross and Boy, but I think it'd be hilarious if like Elemental came out, Victor or something.
Listen,
I like Elemental. I liked it, but I'm not.
I liked Elemental too, but it's not like better than Suzume or Ninja Turtles.
No, I agree.
The Boy and the Heron is probably going to win this one, but I love when this Oscars nominations came out, how they showed like the reactions of like the filmmakers, and the Robot Dreams one made me laugh because like when because it went in this order, so the Boy and the Heron, they like kind of all had to look because it's a Mexican produced film, I believe, and then they all kind of nodded like, yeah, expected. And then Elemental got named. They all kind of looked at each other like, and I feel like the vibe of the look at each other was like, Elemental's getting nominated, we're fucked here. But then Robot Dreams got named, and they're like, okay, good, we're back. But Robot Dreams my favorite of the bunch, but it's gonna be the Boy and the Heron.
This could have easily been the most stacked category of this entire award show if they just nominated Suzume and Ninja Turtles instead of Elemental and Robot Dreams.
Boo! Robot Dreams number 1.
What's it on? Is it on?
No, I got the neon screener, thankfully, but it comes out I think like February or something. So
send it to me.
Yeah. That's whack. Yeah, send me that screener too.
Yeah, sounds good.
I've gotten one. I got one screener. Like speaking on screeners, I got it for. I just took it for whatever that one movie is, Tyler. I think
Cult Killer.
Yeah, Cult Killer, and I said, yeah, I'll watch it and review it. I haven't yet. So I didn't sign a contract or anything, so I'm not worried about it. But like, I got that on I think on the 4th of the year.
Love that.
It came out the 19th, and I still have that screener.
I hope it's a half-star movie.
Did you watch it or
no? I never watched it. No, just I said, yeah, I'll take the screener. I'll review it on Letterboxd. Then I didn't.
All right, best international feature. Io Capitano, Italy, Perfect Days, Japan, Society of the Snow, Spain, The Teacher's Lounge, Germany, and the Zone of Interest of the United Kingdom. This is the Zone of Interest award without a doubt. It sucks that France nominated another film over Anatomy of a Fall, which was just stupid because this could have easily been just another extra award for Anatomy of a Fall.
I don't think you can. I thought I saw something you can't be nominated for this and Best Picture.
No, you can. But the problem is that Justine Triet won the Palme d'Or for Best Film, and then in her speech she was down talking Macron and the French government. So then the French, because the country submits the film, so they were like, well, this chick just down talked us, we're not going to submit that. But I've only seen 3 of these. I think Society of the Snow shouldn't be winning here. Perfect Days is my favorite. Well, actually, no. Zone of Interest I hold higher, but I love Perfect Days and Zone of Interest are 2 of my favorite films I've seen this century. So either of them I'd be happy. Saw someone tweet this that it's a really funny award this year because the Zone of Interest is a UK film that was financed by the Polish government, filmed a lot in Poland, and it's with all German actors and a German story. Where the Society of the Snow is a Spanish film, but it's all Uruguayan and Chilean and Argentinian actors and takes place there. Perfect Days in Japan, full German cast, German director, everything German about them. So this is like a all over the place. This is like a true international feature film because the countries you see listed here have basically very little to do with the actual production of every single movie on this list. But that's where they take place. So, I don't even know how it works. I like Zone of Interest, UK, because Jonathan Glazer and the production team. But then Perfect Days is Japan, even though the Zone of Interest doesn't take place in the UK, but Perfect Days takes place in Japan. But Perfect Days is a full German production. I don't know how this works, man. I simply don't know how it works. Whatever. Congratulations to the nominees.
Technically, I think Australia could have submitted Talk to Me as an international film.
Right.
And then even
that would have been kind of funny.
That would have been hysterical. That would have been fucking incredible.
We'll
we'll not.
Let's not act like we watched the documentaries.
Yeah, we didn't watch any of the documentaries.
Well, actually, no, I didn't see any of those. No.
Didn't see one. I know a lot of people are saying the Michael J. Fox Still documentary was a snub.
I'd agree.
Tyler likes that a lot.
Yeah, that is about all I know. Original score. Let's talk about this absolute shit show of a category. American Fiction, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Boo, John Williams, the Woat.
Dude, the Academy.
Shout out John Williams.
Stop. The Academy's got John Williams nuts in their mouth. It's absurd.
Nothing wrong with a man walking in saying, "Hey, just run it back," and then walking out. I mean, here's the thing.
There's nothing wrong with him doing the movie. There's something wrong with how much the Academy blows him.
You're arguing that it's a bad score, which it's not. It's just a reused score from every other Indiana Jones.
It's not original. It's not an original score.
I agree with completely.
What I'm really curious on is when they debuted Indiana Jones: The Dial of Destiny in LA at an LA theater. John Williams came out, surprised everyone when they pulled up the curtain and did a live performance of the Indiana Jones theme. I really want to know how many Academy voters were there, and then there's we're locking them in for an original score nomination because of the surprise performance none of us were expecting. John Williams playing chess, everyone else playing checkers.
Could be it, man. I'm just saying, it's not a bad score. It's just it should not be on here.
It's just not original.
No, not at all. He walked into the studio. He said, "Run that shit back," and he played the hits and walked out.
That's legitimately what he said. Yeah, we also had Oppenheimer and Poor Things. But again, you're giving John Williams a spot over Daniel Pemberton for Across Spider-Verse. There's no reason he should not have been on this list.
No. No, I agree with that. I think it's
absolutely
just
absurd.
That he just did the same exact thing and got original score. Good for him.
I would have
dude's gonna win or some shit.
I mean, I'll freak out, but they're gonna harp on it in whoever's hosting's opening monologue. John Williams beats John Williams's record for oldest Academy Award nominee.
Yeah.
It's gonna be some stupid shitty joke. Let's move on before I have an aneurysm to an even worse oh my god, best original song. What a shitty category. The Fire Inside from Flamin' Hot.
Yeah.
I'm Just Ken from
Flamin'
Barbie.
Shout out
it Never Went Away from American Symphony. Wazaze, A Song for My People from Killers of the Flower Moon. I definitely mispronounced that, by the way. And What Was I Made For from Barbie. This is disgusting. This is.
You ready for something here? Let me drop some knowledge real quick.
Here, please.
Diane Warren for The Fire Inside, 2023 nominee Best Original Song. 2022, she got an Academy Award honorary. She was also nominated for Applause in 2022, original song. 2021, original song nomination, Somehow You Do. 2020, nominated. 2019, 18, 17, 15, 14. Diane Warren, if she releases a song or movie, is getting nominated. She has the craziest run.
Wow.
She's been nominated for...
Has she ever won? I don't know who this is.
Nope. She got her honorary Oscar last year. She has never won, but she's been nominated over 15 times for Best Original Song. Man, so if she releases a song, it's getting nominated. So even though it's flaming hot, it's so stupid. It's crazy. like you want to talk about nuts and mouth of critics. Diane Warren.
We should have seen Olivia Rodrigo here for Can't Catch Me Now. We should have seen Metro Boomin here for Am I Dreamin'? We should have seen Sharon Van Etten here for Quiet Eyes.
I agree with all these.
Like what are we?
I wanted Metro Boomin to get nominated just to hear the grovelly voiceover be like Metro Boomin.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. He should have been nominated though. Every song in that playlist is better than every song that was nominated. Hot take.
I mean, I don't necessarily disagree, but like I'm just
better than all of them except What Was I Made For? I'm Just Ken was always getting nominated.
Always.
It was always
never a shred of doubt.
I don't hate it. Like if you, I watched that movie back fairly recently-ish. Kind of hits. Like it. Don't get me wrong.
It's not bad.
I'm just
it's not bad at all.
I think What Was I Made For will win simply because, as George and I know, if Billie Eilish is nominated, it's inevitable. She's getting the dub.
She's winning. Yeah. Best Supporting Actress, we'll move on. Emily Blunt for Oppenheimer, Danielle Brooks for The Color Purple, America Ferrera for Barbie, Jodie Foster for Naiad, and Divine Joy and Randolph for The Holdovers. It doesn't matter how.
One person.
Yeah, this is the Divine Joy Randolph. No one even has a chance. The other four might as well not even show up. Yeah, it's not even. It doesn't even matter like that they nominated Jodie and America and how just like shitty of nominations those are. It doesn't even matter because
I like America Ferrera.
I
like Barbie. I like this.
I liked her. Should not have been nominated. But yeah, this is Divine Joy. She's won every supporting actress award under the sun this season. It's absolutely absurd.
It's her award to win. Emily Blunt's like
last year.
Yeah, Emily Blunt's like a lap behind and maybe can pull some crazy miracle. And then, like you said, Danielle Brooks is like still in the starting gate, and America Ferrera and Jodie Foster didn't even know to buy a horse. Like they're just happy to be there.
Yeah, they're out there dressing nice up in the stands.
They're just having a good time. Original screenplay, Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Maestro, May, December, and Past Lives. The exact 5 that everyone was pretty much predicting. I think a lot of people would have liked to see Air slide in there. I personally would have taken Air over May, December without a question.
I like May, December.
I like May, December too. But this is the 5 that everyone was predicting. There's not much of a surprise here. Barbie being an adapted screenplay kind of opened up that door for May, December. So shout out Barbie, I guess. Adapted screenplay, American Fiction, Barbie, Oppenheimer, Poor Things, and Zone of Interest. Again, pretty much the 5 everyone expected, except for the obvious snub of Killers of the Flower Moon. But again, this was the start of that American Fiction run. The Academy loved this movie. It's not winning one award, but the Academy loves this movie based on its nominations. But Killers not being here is kind of wild.
That's the biggest snub for sure. But just worth mentioning, Love is in the Air. We have Noah Baumbach and Greta Gerwig. I think they're married now because they were partners, but I think they just got like surprise married. So they're married. We have Justine Triet and Arthur Harari in a relationship. They have 2 kids together. Sammy Birch and Alex Mechanic married. And then Celine Song, obviously the movie's a lot about her husband. So we have like 4 of the 10 nominees are like married screenplay writer couples. So goals, I guess.
That's kind of funny, actually.
I think Emma and I would kill each other if we tried writing a movie together.
Oh, yeah. That's so weird. So Killers of the Flower Moon.
So Barbie moving to adapted killed Killers, and that allowed Past Lives was not Best Picture nominated, right? No,
it is.
Past Lives is, yeah.
So May December is the one that is the only one that's nominated for any of the screenplays that's not a Best Picture nominee. So Barbie would have been in there, an original, and would have stayed there fine. And then Killers would have been an adapted. We would have had our perfect 10. But because Barbie switched, it was probably between them and Killers at the bottom of the ranks for who's going to get nominated there. And then original screenplay, they're like, oh, we'll give May December something.
That's fun.
Shout out May December.
Mm-hmm.
Snubbed in all acting categories.
Incorrect.
None of us watch any of these short films.
Skip the
Invincible. That's on.
For a brief second, Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. Shout out that. I love that. I think we all saw it, or some of us saw it. Great. Best of the shorts from Wes Anderson. Red, White, and Blue for a slim second. I was like very tired watching the nominations announced. I thought it was Red, White, and Royal Blue for a second, and I was about to lose my mind. Like I was like, oh, that actually got nominated. That's hilarious. But no, Red, White, and Blue. But Wonderful Story of Henry Sugar. Wes Anderson was snubbed from everything else. At least he got a nomination here. Hopefully he wins it. But that's the only one I've seen. So therefore it's my number one. But we'll move on to these.
Hold on. What was the our boys, the Raiders of the Lost podcast, Midnight Ruin, snubbed.
Snubbed.
For sure. Snubbed. Best hair and makeup, Golda, no idea what that is.
Neither
Maestro, Oppie, Poor Things, and Society of Snow, which I know a lot of people were predicting last minute. This is probably going to be the only award Bradley Cooper goes home with. I don't even think he goes home with it because he's not the one winning this award. So, but the only award Maestro I think is going to go home with is hair and makeup. I just don't think there's no standout here. I personally think there's nothing that like really blows your mind. So I think you're going to go to the movie that
the biggest snub of this was Guardians of the Galaxy, not or maybe costume design, wherever it gets roped in. But they had the most prosthetics in any movie ever, and they did a lot of practical. Come on, they weren't even on the short list, so like we knew they were getting snubbed for a long while. But that's
movie,
crazy.
Man.
I mean, I think
at all.
I'm not. No, normally they get a nom for like didn't Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania get like visual effects or some shit, or was that Guardians? It was also Guardians. But normally they get something like just throw them in, and I'm not saying like MCU should be nominated for a whole lot of these by any means, but like that, I think they deserved at least a makeup and hairstyling over like I didn't care for Society of the Snows, like nothing about it made me like lose my mind. Oppenheimer, Poor Things, Maestro, fine. I've not seen Golda, so I'm not going to comment on it. But Society of the Snow, fine movie.
Yeah, for Bradley Cooper haters, if you are one out there, the best makeup and hairstyling going to Maestro. Being the only one would be poetic because the biggest thing talked about Maestro the 6 months leading up to it was his nose, and if that's the only thing that comes out and gets an Oscar win, would be kind of poetic for the haters of Bradley Cooper. But yeah, makeup and hairstyling, whatever. I think it's like even Oppenheimer, like what in there is like that crazy for makeup and hairstyling.
The final scene when they're all older. And
I guess their faces being like ripped off. So okay, I can see it. I rescind my somewhat negatively pointed comment.
All right, costume design: Barbie, Kills the Flower Moon, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things.
Hold on, is this the same as the exact same 5 as production design? Barbie, Killers, Napoleon, Oppenheimer, Poor Things. Yeah, so makeup, costume, and production, same exact 5.
Should have squeezed fucking
Poor Things Wonka. Deserves it all. Well, Barbie deserves some, but I think Poor Things or Barbie.
Yeah, one of those two.
I think Barbie, that's who will win. That's just who I think.
I think one of those two would too. I think it'll be Barbie. And then supporting actor Sterling K. Brown for American Fiction, Robert De Niro, Killers of the Flower Moon, Robert Downey Jr., Oppenheimer, Ryan Gosling for Barbie, and Mark Ruffalo for Poor Things.
Shout out Bob. Shout out Bob.
Which one?
Out Bob.
Bob Downey. I told you I didn't like Robert De Niro in Killers. Like I think he was like very not good, honestly. I'm clearly on the wrong side of history with that one. I didn't care.
He's been nominated everywhere.
Yeah,
I loved him in it.
Yeah, that's fine. I really didn't think it was that.
I think they nominated the right Poor Things actor though. I mean, Willem Dafoe is great, but I think Mark Ruffalo deserves a nomination over
they
him.
Definitely nominated. I think they should have nominated both Poor Things actor. I think substitute Willem Dafoe for Sterling K. Brown, and I think that's your 5. No other snubs I can think of that are worthy of this supporting actor nomination.
I don't think Sterling K. Brown will win. I don't think Robert De Niro will win. I don't think Mark Ruffalo will win. Like I think it's just between. I don't think Ryan Gosling will win. But I don't
think it's between anyone. I think
in the Academy's eyes, that's like the Ryan and Robert are the 2 options. I feel like in the Academy's eyes, not in mine.
I think it's Robert Downey Jr. without a doubt.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'm just thinking, like, you know how Ryan Gosling posted that whole thing saying like how he was upset that, or like, acknowledging that, he got nominated, which is great, but it's sad seeing not Greta and Margot. It'd be kind of like not like funny, but like I don't know. I'm picturing an alternate reality in my head of him winning Best Supporting Actor, and just getting up there and being like, "Sorry, ladies, welcome to the Mojo Dojo Casa House, Kingdom, baby," and just walking off, just full 180, just roasting them. But yeah, those are all the nominees.
Yeah, some notable movies that did not get nominated: John Wick, Suzume, The Killer, Wonka. I know, production and costume design would have been nice to see something in there. Iron Claw, Ninja Turtles.
Heartbreaking.
Air would have been cool to see a nomination for Air. Andrew Scott for Best Actor. I know a lot of people were pulling for him for All of Us Strangers. I would have liked to see that.
All the Strangers got nothing. I thought all the actors in it, like I didn't love the movie, but I thought all the actors in it, all the supporting, all the leads were so great. Like I thought that we could something.
I thought Paul Mescal and Andrew Scott were for sure going to get awards, but guess not. But that wraps up our Jesus Christ, what did that just wrap up? Our
Oscar nominations.
Our Oscar nominations.
You just have like an aneurysm.
Yeah, I just had a massive brain fart. I forgot what we were doing. But moving on, we'll keep it in Oscar spirit. We don't have a draft or a game. We're just going to kind of go backwards a couple years, talk about the Best Picture winners, and then talk about who we personally think should have won.
Wiki.
Yeah, nice. There it is. So again, just another segment of dudes naming movies. So we'll start in 2010, I guess, and then we'll move our way to 2022 or 2023. In 2010, we had The King's Speech, Black Swan, The Fighter, Inception, The Kids Are All Right, 127 Hours, The Social Network, Toy Story 3, True Grit, and Winter's Bone. This was one of the more, I guess, controversial wins over the last decade and a half. Obviously, you have The Social Network and Inception and The Fighter and Black Swan all in one category, and you go with The King's Speech.
It's got to be The Social Network, right?
It has to be The Social Network or Inception. My Nolan bias would make me say, Cam, you're on mute. My Nolan bias would make me say Inception, but I think it just has to be The Social Network on this one.
I'll say something you cowards are too afraid to admit, but the best
it's not Toy Story 3.
Is Toy Story 3.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it's Toy Story 3. It is. But if it's not Inception, it would be my pick. And then The Social Network are my top 3 from that year.
The King's Speech being
fuck the King's Speech.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the most forgettable movie, I think, of this 10. Also, shout out Toy Story 3 for getting that nomination. We have not seen.
We'll figure that out because shout out Wikipedia. Yeah, we'll scroll through. We'll see it, man.
But I don't think we have seen a animated picture be nominated for Best Picture since then, unless we consider Hugo, which we'll see in 2011. 2011, The Artist, The Descendants.
Bad year for movies.
Not a good year. The Artist, The Descendants, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close, The Help, Hugo, Midnight in Paris, Moneyball, The Tree of Life, and War Horse. Cam, I know what you're picking from this.
I only have 1 5 out of 5 from that year, and it's Moneyball.
I don't have.
I will admit,
I do.
I don't have a single one of these rated other than Moneyball. So maybe
really?
Don't have any of them.
I only have 1 5 out of 5 here, and that's Tree of Life.
I still need to see Tree of Life. The only 5 out of 5 I have from this year
is the Tree of Life. Brad Pitt,
Terrence Malick. Yeah,
Brad Pitt, that was in it. Yeah.
Spoiler for a Trivia 10 question coming up.
Oh shit,
my bad.
Not for George. Don't worry.
Yeah, damn it. Deathly Hallows Part 2 is my only 5 out of 5 from this year.
Wow.
All
right.
Yeah.
All
yeah.
right.
But we're also missing, like, Ryan Gosling's Drive came out this year.
Yeah. Warrior was really good.
Warrior was great.
I think people talk about, I don't know. I have it a 4.5 out of 5, but I have it like a 88 out of 100. And I feel like people talk about Warrior like it's one of the best movies ever.
I know Sammy loves Warrior.
Yeah. A lot of people do, which is fine. I enjoy the movie as well. I just don't think it's the most amazing piece of cinema.
Never going to get nominated, but The Cabin in the Woods might be my second favorite movie of this year. But obviously never going to get fucking nominated.
Crazy Stupid Love deserves more respect.
True. Quickly back to 2010. Hilarious to see 127 Hours get nominated. That's just such a funny picture.
I forgot about that movie, to be honest with you.
I feel like every year has that hilarious Best Picture nomination. Like the only reason Hugo not nominated was because it's Martin Scorsese.
Right.
The best Fast and Furious of all time that year. Fast Five. Fast Five. Hell yeah.
2012. Argo, Amour, Beast of the Southern Wild, Django, Life of Pi, Lincoln, Les Mis, Silver Linings Playbook, and Zero Dark 30. Again, I only have one 5 out of 5 this year. Was not nominated. That's Francis Ha.
I have 3 5 out of 5s. Django was a 5 out of 5 for me. Argo, and then Skyfall. As well. I like Skyfall a lot. I think it should have at least gotten a nom, especially in this list. I mean, definitely. I don't have Zero Dark 30 rated, but I've definitely watched it at least twice since I've started Letterboxd. I don't know, or maybe not, but I feel like I watch it fairly often.
I think Marvel's The Avengers could have been nominated. I'll say it. I don't care. I'll say it.
I'm looking at my ratings right now, and just back on the perks of being a wildflower, the Dumbo poster that I showed like a couple weeks ago. I was like, "What the fuck is that movie?" And then I scrolled over. I was like, "Oh yeah,
it's the perks of being a wildflower."
Looper was great. Silver Linings on here. Yeah, Silver Linings.
Surprised Paul Thomas Anderson's The Master didn't get nominated.
Oh wow!
I'm stunned that didn't get nominated.
Pitch Perfect. I'm shocked didn't get nominated.
Francis Ha would definitely be my number one from this year.
I really like Argo, so I'm fine with it winning. But I also really obviously love Django Unchained. I mean, I like Silver Linings Playbook. Zero Dark 30 is fine. Lincoln's fine. Like, there's nothing really here that I'm hating, but I'm fine with Argo winning.
Mm-hmm. I like Argo, so I'm glad it's won. I'm glad it's won.
2013, another. Just looking at my ratings, stacked fucking year. Really? And obviously the Oscars did not do it justice. They got 12 Years a Slave, American Hustle, Captain Phillips, Dallas Buyers Club, Gravity, Her, Nebraska, Philomena, and The Wolf of Wall Street. I mean, they snubbed Her. Oh, no, they did not. My bad. They snubbed Prisoners, the Prisoners. I don't know if you guys are high on the Coens brothers Inside Llewyn Davis, but that's a 5-star movie for me.
Love it.
I haven't seen it.
About Time should have been nominated. Was never going to be nominated. Let's make that clear. Same thing with The Conjuring. Never going to be nominated.
Both good movies. The one of the best animated movies of the year, George, the Flashpoint Paradox, should have been nominated.
Yes, Flashpoint. Even Dark Knight Returns Part 2 came out that year. Stacked year for the DCAU.
Catching
I would have gone Her. Of these nominees, I would have gone Her.
Of the nominees, I would have gone. I probably would have gone The Wolf of Wall Street. Actually,
that's fair too.
I think Prisoners is my number one of the year, but of the nominated, I'd probably go Wolf of Wall Street.
12 Years a Slave is great though. It is.
Man of Steel should have been nominated, no doubt.
I guess. I'll give you an I guess on that one.
Thanks.
Snowpiercer, very good.
Snowpiercer, fantastic.
Old Boy remake.
Stop.
Percy Jackson's Sea of Monsters. Could be that.
Right,
oh shit! Now you see me. Peak. That's a great one.
Now You See Me. That is a good movie. I just rewatched that. 2014, Birdman, which was the eventual winner, and we also have American Sniper, Boyhood, The Grand Budapest Hotel, The Imitation Game, Selma, The Theory of Everything, and Whiplash.
Whiplash. I think. Do we all agree on Whiplash? I have 4 or 5 out of 5s from the year.
I have 4 as well.
Yeah,
I mean, my highest is Boyhood, but that's more personal. Grand Budapest Hotel, I love, but Whiplash is probably who I would pick.
Yeah,
Jason Blum really just attaching his name to that as a producer. Good for you, but you need to get back to this. Get back to producing these kind of movies.
Yeah, for sure. I had The Grand Budapest Hotel, 5 out of 5. Gone Girl, Nightcrawler, and Whiplash. Nightcrawler actually might be my highest rated from that year. I can't remember for sure.
Academy hates Jake Gyllenhaal.
Yeah.
John Wick, man, that should have been fucking nominated.
Where can I see my own review?
I feel like John Wick's one of those, like, it was obviously huge when it came out, but I feel like that's one that's just been growing in popularity in the years to come. So I guess I'm not super surprised to see first John Wick not get nominated, because I feel like it wasn't the cultural zeitgeist it is now.
I take that back. Whiplash was my highest rated of the year. Not Interstellar, though. That should not have been nominated.
Oh, it wasn't.
It won. It wasn't. Relax.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I just noticed it was from that year.
Should have been.
Be nominated.
Oh, people, I'm trying to get Interstellar, like, we're too young for the film Twitter. We weren't on film Twitter at the time, but Interstellar used to be like hated, like, by critics. Like, it was not, like, maybe I'm talking out of my ass, but at least from the film Twitter sphere, I know Interstellar was like, it's more recently that people are starting to love it. Like, as in like last like 8 years, not super recently, but when it first came out, I'm pretty sure film Twitter hated it.
And now it's one of the greatest movies of all time.
One MCU movie that genuinely should have been nominated is Captain America: The Winter Soldier. X-Men: Days of Future Past.
I love your commitment to the bit.
The biggest. I'm off the screen. The biggest snub of 2014 actually is not in Best Picture. It's the Lego Movie not winning Best. No, it's not even getting. It's the Lego Movie not getting nominated for Best Animated Picture because it has like that 5-minute scene of Will Ferrell in non-animation. Bullshit.
What was the recent animated movie that everyone was up in arms about? Marcel the Shell. Mm-hmm. That's another one. If he was animated.
Yeah, it's bullshit, man.
Yeah, that is bullshit. Bullshit. 2015. Spotlight, The Big Short, Bridge of Spies, Brooklyn, Fury Road, The Martian, The Revenant, and Room. This was the year. I'm pretty sure Fury Road got like 11 nominations, but Denis did not get a Denis, Jesus Christ.
George Miller.
George Miller did not get a directing nomination. I think I said Denis because I was thinking the same thing happened with Dune, where it picked up like 10 nominations, but Denis did not get a Best Director nomination. But yeah, Fury Road is without a doubt my pick from this lineup.
Yep. No, I'd say same.
Although we're missing some notable, like Inside Out. Come on.
Yeah, I have Sicario. I have five out of 5s from this year, and Sicario, Inside Out, The Martian, and then everyone. And I just sent you guys a tweet about it. The Big Short should have been. Was it nominated? No. Yeah, it should have been. It was. Yeah, good.
Big Short was nominated.
That should have won. That's the best movie from that year.
There's a stacked year. Like, I'm surprised Straight Outta Compton didn't get nominated.
Yeah, that is shocking.
Tarantino's The Hateful Eight. I mean, I think that movie bangs. I just rewatched it.
We watched Spotlight for that real quick.
Yeah,
I like it a lot. I don't hate that it won. I don't think it should have, but I don't hate that it won.
Mm-hmm.
No, it's definitely a good movie. We all had glowing reviews of that movie, I believe. Mm-hmm. I don't think any of us disliked it.
I think it was one that I look back on for Oscar wins and be like, oh, that like is one of the like least deserving. And then rewatching it for that real quick, I was like, you know what, this is a good film.
Yeah.
All right, 2016, Moonlight, Arrival, Fences, Hacksaw Ridge, Hell or High Water, Hidden Figures, La La Land, Lion, and Manchester by the Sea.
Congratulations, La La Land, on winning. It turned out the Oscars right after they won, so shout out to them. Huge win for Damien Chazelle. My favorite Best Picture winner of all time, La La Land. Great work. No notes here, nothing else. 2016. Yeah. Shout out to La La Land for the win.
Absolutely tragic.
Do you have a guess how many 5 out of 5s I have from 2016?
7.
Dude, I have 7. That's crazy.
I've got 8.
Really?
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. You got La La Land?
Yeah, of course.
You have Arrival?
No.
You don't have Arrival?
No. Arrival's
I got this. Let me pick it up. You got Hell or High Water.
Yeah, of course.
You got Moonlight.
Yes.
You got Manchester by the Sea.
Yep.
So what are we at now? 4 or 5?
We're at 4. I'm counting 4.
4.
One's
I don't have
animated. 2 are animated.
Oh, you have The Nice Guys?
Yes. Yep.
That's 5. So 3 more, and 2 of them are animated.
2 are animated. Yep. One is
either a silent voice or Your Name.
Your Name.
Okay, and then no way you have Zootopia at a 5 out of 5.
No, sir. Moana, man.
Oh my god.
Moana is so goddamn good. You're all clowns. And then Train to Busan as well.
Yes.
Yeah, Train to Busan.
Okay. All right, we have I have set. Wow, this is a stacked fucking year.
Yeah, what a good year.
Yeah, I got La La Land, Arrival, Moonlight, Your Name, The Handmaiden, A Silent Voice, and Sing Street.
I haven't seen The Handmaiden. Maybe that'll be it. I've heard it's great.
Yeah,
Sing Street 4.5, Silent Voice 4.5.
Oh,
shout out Moonlight though. Like I'm happy Moonlight won. I was
very Moonlight.
I was joking about La La Land getting the win and then being a takeaway. Not saying that La La Land was like the most egregious snub of all time. It was a joke on that. Moonlight, good job winning.
Moonlight,
definitely not a bad win whatsoever.
I mean,
Pop Star
La La Land
stopping stuff.
Should have.
I mean, I prefer La La Land. Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever.
All right, moving on. 2017. Yeah, poor lineup. The Shape of Water, Call Me by Your Name, Darkest Hour, Dunkirk, Get Out, Lady Bird, Phantom Thread, The Post, and 3 Billboards Outside Ebbing, Missouri. I'm just happy Get Out was even nominated.
Should have won.
Fantastic. Well, of these nominees, yes. But like Blade Runner 2049, that had to be in the nominees list.
Dude, that thing didn't get nominated for shit. It also didn't make shit money. That was one of the most like inconsequential movies of all time until now.
Yeah, like, people on the spot, people did not care for Blade Runner 2049, and then at the end of the decade, everyone had it in their like most underrated movies of the decade list. I remember that.
Yeah. They were right.
I also have Coco and Logan at a 5 out of 5, so I would have liked to see either of them nominated. But
do people like this year in movies? Because like I have a shit ton of 4.5s and 5s.
I have a lot of 4.5s.
Yeah, I got
I don't have I have 5 5s actually. Yeah, this is a good ass year.
Yeah, I got 6 5s.
Yeah, this year bang.
My highest rated would have been Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah, that's my highest rated.
And Wind River.
Out. Oh, Wind River came out this year. Yeah.
Wind River is great. And then The Big Sick, Logan, Coco, Get Out.
I haven't seen The Shape of Water yet, but I like a lot of these nominees. I love Call Me by Your Name. Huge fan of Dunkirk. Get Out. Lady Bird's great. Phantom Thread I love. I know 3 Billboards is one of Seth's like least favorite movies of all time. So
yeah,
it's crazy. War for the Planet of the Apes that year should have won.
The Lego Batman movie should have won.
Fuck yeah. What an all-time year.
Moving on to 2018. Green Book, Black Panther, Black Klansman, Bohemian Rhapsody, The Favorite, Roma, A Star Is Born, and Vice. The obvious annoying snub here is is Into the Spider-Verse. And then the only other 5 out of 5 I have from this year is Hereditary, so it would have been nice to see that pick up a nomination, but it did not.
My 3 5 out of 5s. This is the most like IP year for me because my 3 5 out of 5s are Mission Impossible, Fallout, Avengers, Infinity War, and Into the Spider-Verse. Those are and then Haunting of Hill House was that year too. Just to add that in. So yeah,
it was. Yeah.
Of these nominees, I think my highest rate is Black Klansman.
Mine's A Star Is Born of these nominees.
Mine would probably be Vice.
I like Vice a lot. I do. Vice is very good.
I can't believe Christian Bale did not win. I can't believe he lost to Rami Malek.
Yeah, that's bullshit, man.
That's insanity.
What do you guys actually have Bohemian Rhapsody at?
I haven't seen it.
Really? Interesting.
I think a 2.5 or 2.
I have it at 3.5. Like, I don't think by any means it's a bad movie. It was just
I think it's a bad movie.
Really? It's just mega Oscar bait.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's move on to in my mind the best year in film of all time, 2019. We got Parasite, Ford v Ferrari, The Irishman, Jojo Rabbit, Joker, Little Women, Marriage Story, 1917, and Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Absolutely cracked category. Parasite is my number 1 of the year, so I'm happy that came out on top.
Yep.
But my God, another 5 out of 5s that I have that weren't nominated: Uncut Gems, Portrait of a Lady on Fire, The Lighthouse, and then God, my list of 4.5s from this year just goes on and on. It's absurd.
Knives Out.
Knives Out, yes, absolutely.
Sound of Metal, but that's 2020. But Letterboxd has it as 2019.
Yeah, John Wick 3, The Farewell, Ford v Ferrari was nominated. Ad Astra, Jesus, this year was disgusting.
Jojo Rabbit, did you mention that?
Jojo Rabbit, yeah, nominated, right? Yeah, nominated.
Okay. Yeah.
I am happy I watch like this awards ceremony quite often.
One of the best years for comic book movies? ? Endgame, Joker, Spider-Man: Far From Home. Come on, come on, they're all great. Crawl is from this year, George. You know,
is
Crawl.
it really?
Yeah, Crawl's great.
Hey, Crawl was good. I told you, I did not dislike Crawl.
A couple very good movies that we haven't named: Just Mercy and The Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Yep.
And then
Us, Jordan Peele's Us.
Oh yeah.
Man,
Little
this year
Women.
was
Did you mention
fucking?
that?
I did. Yeah, nominated, right?
Yeah,
nominated.
I'm not even looking at the nominees. That's on me.
Yeah, nominated. Moving on to the 2020s. You know, now we're getting into more familiar territory. Nomadland, The Father, Judas and the Black Messiah, Mank, Minari, Promising Young Woman, Sound of Metal, Trial of Chicago 7. Considering 90% of movies meant to come out that year got delayed, this is a pretty decent lineup, I think. I don't think this is a terrible lineup at all.
Yeah, I would have went for The Father. I still haven't seen Nomadland. I'm planning on watching it this week, but I love Sound of Metal also. But The Father is definitely my standout of the year.
Yeah, I probably would have gone with either Trial of Chicago 7 or Sound of Metal. My only 5 out of 5 from this year was Another Round, not nominated, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. Would have loved this. See, this would have been a perfect year to give Soul a nomination.
Yeah,
like it just would have been a perfect year to nominate an animated movie.
They've lost
most of
their
these
sauce.
movies are forgettable.
The Oscars lost their sauce.
Yeah, they've lost it. Tenet. Did you guys get tickets to Tenet?
Yep.
No.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Did you guys see that in theaters? Like when it came out? I've already seen it in theaters. When it came out, like it
came out for a few weeks in theaters. Yeah.
I did not know that.
Time frame. It was a great watch in theaters. But I think I've already gotten my experience with that. I'm not gonna, and I don't love it as much as you guys. I like it. Good.
I mean, I'm excited to rewatch it. I'm excited to see how it holds up for me.
Mm-hmm.
2021, Coda somehow. Belfast. Don't Look Up. Yeah. Don't Look Up, Drive My Car, Dune, King Richard, Licorice Pizza, Nightmare Alley, Power of the Dog, and West Side Story. I don't know how those last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 movies squeak their way into this.
2021 is a bad year in movies.
No, it's not a bad year for movies. This is just a bad lineup.
No, because Dune and Coda are the best movies of the year, in my opinion.
Yeah, but like The French Dispatch needed to be here.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
Like, Come On needed to be here. Spencer needed to be here. The Green Knight, like on the count of 3. Like, this is a good year in film. They just nominated shit.
Godzilla vs. Kong. I mean, like, come on.
No, I like the Coda win. I would have. Dune is my favorite of the year. The Coda's right up there. I love Drive My Car also.
I like Drive My Car. I like Belfast. I think you guys aren't Belfast fans. I like it a lot. No. I like The Harder They Fall a lot. Oh, that's not nominated. That's cool.
That was a good movie. Mitchell's vs. the Machines. Another perfect year to nominate an animated movie. This is bullshit.
I don't know. I'm not a fan of 2021 in movie as a year in whole, I guess. That's what I'm trying to say.
All right. Well, then let's move on to what I think is the best year of this decade so far, 2022. We had Everything Everywhere All at Once, All Quiet on the Western Front, Avatar: The Way of Water, The Banshees of Inisherin, Elvis, The Fabelmans, Tar, Top Gun Maverick, Triangle of Sadness, and Women Talking. Stacked.
I think we're all happy with the winner.
Yep.
I mean, yeah.
I was 3 of the last 4 years picking the best winner. I'm out this year. The best picture winner. Sorry, I'm out this year because obviously the Iron Claw isn't winning. But
stacked. Obviously, we all of us would have liked to see an After Sun nomination. Yeah. I would have liked to see a Batman nomination, but that was never gonna happen.
Cowards,
man. Puss in Boots. Babylon, surprising a little bit, not making it here. But overall,
Decision to Leave.
Decision to Leave got, I'm pretty sure, snubbed everywhere. I don't think it picked up one nomination.
No noms.
Not even international film, which is just crazy. I don't think it's better than All Quiet, but it is what it is. What else? Del Toro's Pinocchio came out that year. Yeah, I'm happy with this.
I'm happy with the lineup. I think it's a great lineup, one of the better ones we've had, and I'm happy Everything Everywhere All at Once won. I think it was a good year for the Oscars.
Yeah, and then we already went through 2023, so that'll wrap us up there. That'll pretty much wrap up our episode. We are, of course, this week, like we said at the beginning of the episode, all of our typical reviews and drafts that drop Thursday and Friday, the patron-sponsored stuff, that going forward is patron exclusive. So if you want to be able to still watch those, take a look at our Patreon, take a look at our tiers. This week, we are going to be reviewing Terminator 2 Judgment Day, and then we are going to be drafting the best or our favorite movies under 90 minutes. So if you want to be able to watch or listen to those, take a look at our Patreon, take a look at our tiers. Again, we've made them a little more advantageous, a little more consolidated, I would say. But that pretty much wraps up our episodes. Let me pull up the
I got the executive producers, but to clarify, the drafts are still going to be public on Thursdays, but on Friday reviews are going to be exclusive. But we also changed the tiers, so the executive producer tiers is the highest tier now. So we only have one executive producer, one king, Stefan Johnson. King, we've done probably at least 3 or 4 of his real quick suggestions throughout the past year and a half or so. But shout out Stefan Johnson for being the one executive producer. Going forward, we'll be announcing executive producers at the beginning and ending of the episodes, but that has now been moved to the highest tier. So Stefan Johnson, King, huge support of the podcast, has been for a long time. I know I've seen him order merch, seen him recommending stuff all the time. Very active Discord member. So shout out Stefan Johnson for being our one executive producer. But yeah, I'll kick to you to kind of tie us up.
Yeah, we'll wrap up the episode there. If you made it this far, and if you are on YouTube, comment below who you think should win Best Picture this year, whether it be one of the nominated bunch or a film that wasn't nominated that you guys think was number 1 of the year. Comment below, let us know. Hope you guys enjoyed episode 72, and we will see you on Thursday for our real quick draft.
Yep, perfect. Peace.
Awesome.